And P.S. The J.F.K. show was fire. Yeah, I love the J.F.K. show. Shout out to J.F.K. and James Jackson. Love them. Great stuff there. 39,000 feet. All right, cool.
You're rocking with the best. Break it off.
Yeah. Why? Read between the lines. Yeah. Why? I know you feeling hurt, your mind flipped. That was a moment in time, can't rewind it. I seen your call, can't talk, declined it. Said I was sorry, liquor had me blinded. I know about your issues, you're not feeling well. What you going through, girl, it's a living hell. Sometimes I bug out, I just flip and yell. Just come out tonight, we can sip and chill. I know about that night at the Pats game. You was real comfortable, and that's lame. When I bring it up, you act strange. That's okay, I ain't saying no names. Glad you pulled up though, we can take your legs. I told you before, that girl, see, that's my ex. You gotta chill, can't believe what you read in text. It's me and you right now, don't be complex. Now it's fine food, proper pints. Storm coming through after 2 lots of white. We gonna be snowed in, so let's stop the fights. I know you wanna talk, girl, but not tonight. Got a text by C, he at the other spot. He there with his brother in that other cop. JM over there too, she just a soccer mom. Let's head over there, see what they talk about.
I don't know what it is, but I feel like I've been snake bitten. Life keeps going by, please tell me why am I living? Poison in my mind, losing sight now with this blind vision. I don't know what it is, but I feel like I've been snake bitten.
Laying on this grass, I can hear the snakes. Wish you would've told me he was feeling so erased. When he sent you that text, seen the fear in your face. Then he texted me too, then you drove away. Don't chase waterfalls, read between lines. Keep a fair view, protect your mind all times. Call 911, officer down. Don't make a sound, there's an officer in the house. All I can feel is my phone vibrate. Wish you was here, not sitting at my place. Who let the dogs out? Someone closed the gate. It's cold where the broken face. Please, Lord, not today. Laying on this grass, I can hear the snakes. Wish you would've told me he was feeling away. When he sent you that text, seen the fear in your face. Then he texted me too. Coming here, then you drove away.
I don't know what it is, but I feel like I've been snake bitten. Life keeps going by, please tell me why am I living? Poison in my mind, losing sight now with this blind vision. I don't know what it is, but I feel like I've been snake bitten.
Message from the flight deck. Message from the flight deck. How we feeling, chat? How we doing, chat? Message from the flight deck. You down? Rocking with J.F.K. We're number 3rd on the runway. We're gonna be in the air soon. Seatbelts on. Calm the fuck down. I'm gonna take you up to 39,000.
Michael Proctor could have written text messages that he didn't know would go public that he regrets sending. That does not nullify the evidence
that says that
Johnny was hit by a weapon.
Ladies and gentlemen, we do thank you very much for your attention, and now we invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the takeoff. The captain has made tower communications available, so if you'd like to monitor the air traffic system, you'll find that on Channel 9 and your headsets in the seat pocket in front of you. We'll give you a little more information about our service plan for our flight this evening as soon as we're in the air. Thank you, and again, welcome aboard.
On the street, smoking Indo, sipping on gin and juice, laid back.
With my mind on my money and my money on my mind.
Rolling down the street, smoke down the street, smoking Indo, sipping on gin and juice, laid back.
With my mind on my money and my money on my mind.
Here we go. Number 3 on the runway. How we doing, chat? Yes. Getting some things situated. Some things situated for the people. Watch those crosswinds. Oh yeah. For sure, for sure, for sure. Got a little bit of turbulence. Start off takeoff. Just a girl in the world, you're so generous and so kind. Buckled up and ready for takeoff, free Karen Reed. For sure, girl. Appreciate you. What up, Jen? Much love, guys. Free Karen Reed. Thank you, Jen. Appreciate the $5. Far too kind. Puff Puff's pass. Yes. What's up, Patrick? Got Josie Lou up in here. Josie Lou, how we feeling? How we doing? You know, today is day 3. Today was day 3 of the trial. Pick some more jurors, I heard. Interesting. They are moving so fast for this trial. They really are. Fuckery Donuts is now open. This way, that way. Which way? This way? You see that donut? He's holding a piece of tail light. That's actually Karen Reed's tail light that he's holding. If you look real close, he got a drip in between his legs. Little drip. Damn. He's missing a little furniture up top. He's got the B hat on. He's from Southie. This donut definitely has connection in South Boston. If you would like any merchandise, Fuckery Donuts official merchandise made by Realm 1. Realm. Reality Enters Lynn Mass, one of the best graffiti artists. Worldwide, Realm did the logo. Go over to the shop, get yourself a hoodie, read between the lines. And they'll ship it out to you. Get a hat. They got all types of stuff over there. I figured I'd throw it out there. Mark S. Rico. Leslie. Chrissy. Aware Art. Good evening. What up, Chrissy? Representing NYC. You're from the Bronx, right, Chrissy? J.F.K, thanks all you do for all you do. Leisha. Damn, Leisha. Thank you. Thank you. Let's go Celtics, of course. I ain't taking this jersey off my neck until we get banned at 19. So if you're wondering why it's always around my neck. Now be clear, I wash this jersey. I love this jersey. I wash it every couple of days. But we're going for banner 19. All green, everything AGE. A lot of ageism. You know, it's funny that this case brought a lot of things to light. Ageism is one of them. People say the boomers, they don't know what they're talking about. They're lost. I don't believe that. NY. That's right. New York, New York. Lower East Side of the Bronx. I forget where you're from. But you know, then you got the Gen X's. And you got the millennials, the older millennials that are watching this case. And now, the reason why I mentioned the ageism now, after this documentary, we have the younger millennials talking about this. Kids that are about, oh, she's from Harlem. Okay. Uptown, baby. Okay. Dipset. Nice. Now we have the younger generation talking about it. And they got all the answers. So that's what we learned. What this movement brought out. Brought out a lot of characters. A lot of characters were unlocked. We got Turtles. We got Glaris. We got J.F.K. We got James Jacksons. We got Aunt Bevs. We got nurses. We got lawyers. We got jerks. We got Kim Robinson. We got Busted Flush. We got Josie Lou. We got Rico. We got Denise. We got Talk Time with Amy. Be clear. We got Fergie. Wow. A lot of character unlocked. For sure. But you know, what we really share is the truth, right? What really happened that night to John O'Keefe? What really happened? Will we ever know? Will there ever be justice? It's scary to think.
You wrong. You wrong.
Scary to think. TG with the $5. We got mass accountability up in here. My man goes crazy. Where's he at? Mass accountability. I'm trying to find you, man. You just flew up the chat. Hold on a second. Mass accountability up in here. Fuck around and find out. He was at the buffer zone. He knows his rights. He has the right to walk down the sidewalk. He don't care. Arrest him. He'll take the charge, take it to court. That's the type of time he's on. You don't care if you're a state trooper, a Lynn cop, Salem cop, Dedham cop, Canton cop. He got zero understanding. Does that make him anti-cop? No. That makes him hold accountability to these fools. Shout out. Mass accountability. He's up in here. Feels like a lifetime, though. Laugh out loud. Member for 3 months. Thank you, Talk Time. How we doing, Amy? How we feeling, girl? We keep fighting for what's right. We do. We do. You're not wrong. You're not wrong about that, man. Jay in Hull. I'm from Roxbury, the berry, but not the fruit, y'all. Don't act like me, act like where I come from because it's brutal. Hold my bone in my zone, it's neutral. Shout out Edo G, my guy. Jay from Hull, you from the berry, huh? Well, a lot of people here. Cleveland, he's from the berry. He's from Tewksbury or Amesbury, not Roxbury, for sure. Peace, Jay. Shell in the house. Much respect and appreciation, for sure. And I'm sure we're going to see a lot of mass accountability down the buffer zone. Or just covering this case. Because he's out on the streets. And he doesn't do this for no reason. Excuse me. He doesn't do it just to do it. Excuse me. He does it because he wants to give you awareness on your rights. Because if the police, disclaimer, if the police really want, they'll just violate your rights. And they don't care. He's not having it. He's not having it. Whether you tell him he can't walk somewhere or whether you just talk to him the wrong way, he's not having it. And some people don't understand that you have to be like that when it comes to police, because there's going to come a time where it's going to be you against a police officer. And 9 times out of 10, he's going to say, or she's going to say, it was your fault. I don't know what that is. Like I said earlier, did a live. It could be an accident. Simple as an accident. You get in an accident, the police pull up, they know the person you got in an accident with, the preponderance of evidence, the person hit you, police officer knows that person, they tell you, don't worry about it, everything's all right, everybody shake hands and leave. You get a ticket in the mail, your points go up, and you got railroaded. Not a big deal, an extra $75 a month on your insurance. Not the end of the world, but you got played. Mass accountability ain't hearing that shit. My man Quap up in here. Quap knows what it is. Me and Quap, he's a Celtics insider. Me and him go way back since 2012, this AGE shit. We were there in 2008 when we won the banner. 17, 2018. Now here we are creeping in 2025 to get banner 19. I mean, Quap is in the building. Let's go Celtics. Just going through the chat. Standing Stones, talk time. I know the area well. Oh, he's talking to you. I love it. You have to be like that. For real. For sure. Eddie Morgan, mass accountability, fire. You have nerve that you can't learn. Absolutely. You know, people are saying like, well, people might say, I'm not going to say they are saying, but, you know, last year, the Celtics were in the playoffs. Everything slows down in the playoffs. Right, Quap? Quap, where you at? Everything slows down in the playoffs. Rotation shrinks. And during that playoff run to banner 18, running parallel to it in all the bars and all the little places in Massachusetts was the Karen Reed trial. And the same exact thing's going to happen this year. We start the playoffs this month, and the Karen Reed trial starts all May, all June, all the way until the third round, the final round, Eastern Conference playoffs to the finals. Now, hopefully, we win that banner 19, and Karen Reed is found not guilty. Now, wouldn't that be some shit? Now, question is, do we put Karen Reed in the fucking parade? When we're celebrating banner 19, do we put Karen Reed in the parade? Oh, yeah. I think so. I think so. Kev, you need to spin your camera around, my man. Oh, he came in and he left. Kev up in here. Oh, my God, yes. Karen on the duck boat. Put them ones up in the chat if you want to see Karen Reed up in the duck boat. I need them ones up. After you put them ones up. This is a disclaimer. After you put them ones up, I need to see them red X's. Disclaimer. After you put them ones up, I need to see them X's. This is a disclaimer. Disclaimer. I need to see them X's. Disclaimer. Oh, yeah. Let me explain something. We're going to win banner 19. And we're going to beat the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. You know what's crazy? Here's some food for thought. Bring my man up here. Kev. Kev, how we feeling?
Pretty good, my man. What's up?
We're chilling. We're in the middle of a disclaimer. But let me tell you. Big Poppy. Hold on a minute. I need to see them X's one more time. I got to hit them with the disclaimer. Disclaimer. I need to see them X's. I can't see it. I need to see everybody in the chat. Throw them red X's up. watching this. 380 people are home right now watching this. I need to put your X up. Go right in your husband's face and throw an X in his face. Sit next to your wife and she's snoring. Say, hey, stop snoring. Put an X in her face. Disclaimer. This is a disclaimer. Hold on. This is a disclaimer. All the X's are filling up, baby. Them X's are filling up. Don't be scared. Don't be alarmed. We are in the middle of a disclaimer. Kev with me. You see what he's wearing, right? He's part of the not fucking around crew. X's are everywhere. Be in trouble. It's hammer time. My man. Natalie Dunn. Debbie. Josie Lou. He's classy. She's gonna hit you with that 1X. I see you, Josie. I finally caught you live from Southern Virginia. Thank you, girl. Leisha. 70s Libra girl. My man. Kim Robinson. Bridget. Debbie. Coco. Dee Dee. What? My man. Hank Brennan. Mindy. Cynthia. Lisa. My girl. She's always here. Always the first one to board. Kelly Hill, what up? Lulu Bell. Josie with that 1X again. Lynn, what up? Scotty! Put an X in Scotty's face. To be blunt. Sarah Clancy. Becky. Independent. Laura out with PR. Bro, I'm heated. I can't get a membership till I physically get a computer. Heavens, I'm glad I didn't bother you. All right, Eddie. We got disclaimers. TG. Old Harbor Projects in the building. Dusty Blue. JoJo. Debbie. Kev. Scotty said, what up? Be in trouble. He's throwing up the X's and he got hammers.
What up, Scotty?
Man, I love to see it. I love to see it. So this disclaimer goes a little something like this. Big Papi wore the number 34. Paul Pierce wore the number 34. We're about to win Banner 19. Karen Reed is about to get found not guilty, and it all went down at 34 Fairview.
Whoa.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Disclaimer.
0. This one's explosive.
Oh, 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 oh.
34 in Boston, Massachusetts. Is a serious number. It really is. We're going to add to that number. Matter of fact, number 34 is in the banner. Is in the rafters in the garden. Uncle Paulie. I think it's in the Baseball Hall of Fame, too. Would you believe it? Two great Boston boys. Coco, what up?
Disclaimer.
That's a disclaimer, son. Holy shit. Hold on, she could do better than that. Lisa Graham. Disclaimers are moving.
Shit,
Yes.
that might be my next tattoo. Big disclaimer.
Absolutely. 70s Lieber Girl with $20. Thank you, Lieber Girl. I appreciate you. And to be clear, I thought this last year with the 34. I got ideas about logos and things like that. But we're at it again. It's running parallel to it. Boston gets crazy this time of year. For one, it's springtime, moving into the summer. And let's face it. There you go. Quap with the information. Pierce's numbers hanging in the rafters and Ortiz's numbers retired at Fenway. And let me tell you something about that Dedham, Norfolk Superior Courthouse. Number 34 Fairview is going to be retired too. All due respect, R.I.P. Officer John O'Keefe. But 34 Fairview, we're always going to remember that number. We're always going to remember that number. Go ahead, Kev, what you want to talk about? It's been a crazy third day at the trial. Take it away.
Yeah, man, it's been crazy. It seems like they're I mean, we only got another 6 more to go. Trying to think. I mean, what was the number today at the end of the day for the jurors picked?
I don't know, but I think they're taking like at 100 a time, right? I mean, I think that's like if that many people show up. I know they got like a 2,000 jury pool, but you got to think so many people ain't going to show up. So
yeah,
Yep.
I think they seem to be
They
moving.
got 10 now. They got 10. They got 10 jurors now. That's crazy. We're right there.
Yeah, we're right there. I mean, say another. I mean,
next week they're going to start the trial.
Next week, I would think. Next week, if they're on point, it should kick right off. Wow. How they open this up this time around is another story. I mean, it just seems like there's all kinds of shit fucking flowing in that, things that make you go, you know what I'm saying?
Indeed. How do you feel about this buffer zone thing?
I mean, I feel like they're going to use, a little bit more greater force than they did last year. I seen a couple clips where they, seems like they got the paddy wagon out there. They got more, more presence. It seems like, out front. I mean, I don't think it should stop any of any of those people that got their foot on the ground, man, boots on the ground. I mean, regardless to, the stipulations and the restrictions, there's still a cause going on, and I'm sure they're going to rally at that rally point, and they might just have to be a little bit louder. You know what I mean?
You think if they get a little louder, they're going to try to arrest people?
I mean, as long as they're following their orders in the, in the distance, I mean, and they're going to have to come up with another order. You know what I'm saying? I mean, maybe that's what they'll do. I mean, I don't know, but I feel like they're trying to push them back more on the outskirts. I mean, regardless, around lunchtime, I mean, you got, patrons, you got people that have storefronts. I mean, it's still going to be a busy time over there, but you'll feel the energy once you get there. That first week of trial, that they're going to feel the energy.
I might be out there.
I'd like to mission out there myself.
No, I'm saying I might be back. I might be in Boston. If I'm in Boston, obviously we're going to hook up. So.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So we probably all go out there. But I'm staying in that buffer zone. I ain't crossing. I'll let mass accountability cross the buffer zone, man.
No, I get it.
He knows all the laws, man. I see him go crazy on them stadies. Mass accountability. He knows all the case law and all that shit. He'd be like, chapter this, chapter 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He's a sick fuck.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
It's good that it's good that you get some people that know the law like that, but I mean, this day and age, man, it's just, a lot of people are voicing their opinion no matter who it is. And it's, that's what we see a lot of, which, I mean, you got that freedom of speech, but, hopefully it doesn't, I don't think, I mean, like I said, I don't think it's going to slow much down. If they're going to give Karen Reed supporters, an area, a designated area, you know what I mean? A restriction of, what was it, 300 yards now?
300 yards, yep.
Yeah. I mean, that's 3 football fields away. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at that real quick. I mean, that's a distance, but,
Do you think they're going to arrest anybody just to do it? Are they going to be looking to arrest somebody just to throw? Like, you think that's like could be on the agenda?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I seen some, there was a few little situations that were caught on camera last year, and you always have that handful of authority that's like, pushing the envelope. Just they're always flexing on you. You know what I mean? It's just inevitable. You're gonna get that fucking either that rookie or somebody that's looking to make a name, or just somebody that's fucking biased to it all. They're gonna fucking try to flex on you.
And Fetters, what up? I see some turbulence. Let me get some of this turbulence. Be in trouble. Hold on a minute. Be in trouble. You know what this is, right?
Hammer time. Hammer time.
What is it?
Hammer time. Hammer time.
Be in trouble, ladies and gentlemen.
Hammer time. Hammer time. Hammer time.
Tick tock, tock, tick
It's
tock.
only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time.
Tock, tock, tick tock, tick.
It can't stop how one
Tick tock, tock, tick tock, tick. Tick tock, tock, tick tock, tick.
It can't stop how one
You want to serve the Commonwealth? This is your chance.
We need you, pal.
We need you, pal.
Yes, be in trouble. Hammer time. We got cash. 1999. Geez, the door's almost closed on me. Kevy Kev beat me to the cockpit. Free Karen Reed. Justice for John O'Keefe. For sure. And Fetters with the big purple chip. Thank you so much. Since I just got pulled over, racing home. Damn, you got pulled over?
Damn.
God damn. And Fetters? Damn. We would shit. Racing home. I'm just gonna need some Nicky Jam tonight. Oh, you got that, girl. Damn. I hope you didn't get no ticket because we know them boys
You
are wrong
wrong.
for that.
You wrong. You wrong.
Yeah, we don't like them boys doing that to our girl, man. They need to leave you alone, man. They need to leave you alone. For sure.
Yeah, but it's like when I was a kid, man. It's like first getting my license and shit. They're out there on the first of the month, or the end of the month. You know what I'm saying? It sucks that first week, man. It's like, I mean, I think I'm just accustomed to it now. I mean, not that I'm doing anything wrong or nothing, but you just feel that presence, man. Like, there should be more presence at crosswalks and shit and intersections, and the first couple hours when the school's going to school. It'd be nice to see the presence then. But I mean, you get somebody, no lie, man. I mean, I'm right up the street, man. I see 107, man. There's a Stady up there, man. Every night, man. He must pull 4 or 5 people over, in a half an hour period.
Let's pause for the cause real quick and hit her with that turbulence, man. Little Nicky Jam for the people. Let's jam out, people. Yes. Thank you so much, Amphetas, everybody in the chat. Josie Lou with 100 coming through. Woo! Holy crap. Josie Lou. Wow. Just want to go through it again. I want to go through the turbulence one by one again. Let me play my turbulence song. Let me find it. Done by my man Scotty. He made me a turbulence song. So I figured I'll play the turbulence song while I go over the super chats because you guys are far too kind. So let's run through it.
Turbulence in the chat. Turbulence.
If my eyes will permit me to find the song. Here we go. Let's go through it. Turbulence in the chat, people. I'm going to go through it. Peace signs up to everybody. I'm just a girl came through.
Somewhere beneath the city's neon glow, first class tickets.
Much love, Jen.
Awesome show. J.F.K. is gonna fly this plane as soon as James gets across 3 lanes.
199 TG, thank you so much.
Is all right, let's freaking go.
Amy been here for 5 months. Let's go.
The flaps are down.
Go, go.
We're on our way. We're off the ground. The waterfall is where the
Libra.
truth is.
Hammer time. Cash.
Crank the
Betters.
music up tonight.
Josie.
Everyone enjoy the flight. Oh no, there's turbulence in the chat. Hang on, there's turbulence in the chat. Bring on back up. Oh, you're 39,000 feet. Standing now.
Josie.
Josie's on a vacation.
Turbulence in the chat. Turbulence in the chat.
Kevy Kev, right back at it. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. Appreciate everybody's time tonight. Everybody that's here right now. We got
5 million.
Now, I don't know what he means by a brick watch. Does he sell a thing called a brick watch on his merch site on Barstool? Is that what it is? A brick watch?
Yeah, I'm
Someone
not
Google
too
that.
sure.
So Barstool Sports brick watch. He sells a lot of merch. I'm thinking that's what he means. Or I'm tripping. I don't know. Maybe I'm totally off. So Tristan was in Nashville, Tennessee, getting trashed. He's seen Portnoy. Now keep in mind, people, Portnoy prior to this. Now I don't think Tristan, be clear, people, would have went up to Portnoy unless, I mean, obviously he probably wouldn't have went up to Portnoy and said hello to him because Portnoy around our way is known, right? Kevy Kev?
Yeah, where's he from? He's from like Swampscott or something?
Yeah, he's from Lynn. He's from Swampscott, but he hung in Lynn. He went to Monty's. You know, he had to come. If you're from Swampscott, you got to come to Lynn. There's no way around it.
Fuck yeah. You got Eastern Ave right there, man.
I mean, I go to Swampscott all the time. I love Swampscott.
Yeah, I mean, there's three in my eyes. I mean, you know, 3 streets that cut that street up, man. It's
He's
Boston
saying
Street,
that
Weston,
he
and
thinks
Easton.
that she's.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, buddy. What were you saying?
Nah, man, I was just thinking, you know, I mean, you definitely got to come into Lynn.
Yeah, he's in denial, just like he's in denial. Portnoy is in denial saying Karen Reed's guilty. He's in denial that Swampscott is Lynn. I mean, when he's got to go to Middlesex County, right, Malden, Everett, or if he got to go to Suffolk County, Chelsea, Dorchester, Roxbury, Boston, North End, you have to go through Lynn. And if you drive up the beach, you're in denial. You say, oh, it's the beach. It's not Lynn. No. Yep. It's still Lynn. And when you drive up the Lynn Way, no. I know there's a Starbucks at the end, but guess what? It's still Building 19 might not be there anymore, but believe me.
Oh, hell yeah.
So he's in denial. Thank you, Leisha. Appreciate you. So Tristan went up to. So the people out there, the New Yorkers, wherever you're from, Canada, if you're from across the pond, wherever you're from, the South, Midwest, got a lot of different people checking in on the JFK show. Dave Portnoy is a guy who created Barstool Sports. He does pizza reviews, one bite, everybody knows the rules. That's his little hobby. He has an app. He sells bricks. Hold on a second. I'm sorry. I'm trying to catch up with the chat. He sells bricks watches for a fraction of the price, so they're probably knockoffs. Oh, okay, so bricks. Yeah, so there's nothing in it. Oh, okay, I see what it is. It's not I get it. It's fake. It's a fake watch. I get it. I should have known that. I was thinking something. My mind went somewhere else, but I get it. He sells like some bootleg shit. Okay. But for the people that don't know him, he does the one bites. Everybody knows the rules. He got John Cena on there. He got, he gets certain act. I got Stone Cold on there before, just some wrestlers that came to my mind. And he got a lot of people to do it. Very successful guy. I guess he ended up selling it for like 300 million. Something serious. Like not a million, not 2 million, like 200 million. Something silly. He does sports betting. He's a rich man. And he's known in Boston as a person who made it. No different than a Dana White, Mark Wahlberg, or any influencer or person from Boston. So people know him. Especially, disclaimer, especially like these white folks. And I mean that with all due respect. He's like the leader of them. The sports betting, the teams, the Bruins. Yeah, the Bruins stole. Yeah. The Red Sox stole. He's the fucking leader of the Bud Light crew. I mean that with all due respect. I'm a white guy.
He's a gambler.
But see, Tristan, there's just certain people in certain areas. So Tristan's seen him. So disclaimer, I'm sure that Tristan would have went over to him and said hello. But now he had a hell of a reason to go over to him to say hello. He had a hell of a reason because the very first interview Dave Portnoy said was this. So let's take you back a little bit.
Convict her, but I think she did it.
He's saying that.
I watched the whole thing. I don't think you can convict her, but I think she did it. I watched the whole thing. I don't think you can convict her, but I think she did it.
He said he don't think you could convict her, or he wouldn't convict her also. He also said if he was on the jury, he wouldn't find her guilty, but he thinks she did it. And he goes into why. He says that she called her dad and the same old saying, the same old shit.
Yeah.
I'm paraphrasing. But now, as luck would have it,
he's like a Hank Brennan. He pulls clips and shit.
Exactly. Well, he's seen the documentary. And, he didn't see anything else. And regardless, the documentary brought awareness because, it put more light on the case. But a lot of people just don't like the way Karen came off in it. And that's why they're looking at her as guilty, that she had no emotion. She didn't care about her man and things like that. And, hey, it is what it is. That's the chance you take. But as luck would have it, he does this podcast a live stream, and he says he thinks she's guilty. And then he goes to Nashville and he runs into this clown.
Nashville, that's a party town. And people are buckled. And this one kid is just, he's a witness in the Karen Reed case.
Yes.
And I'm like, what the fuck? I go, who called you? The prosecution or the defense? He goes, both.
There's a big video of him actually, in Turtle Boy getting into it.
Oh, yeah.
I told him, I didn't even know anything. I told him to give him a brick watch. He's like, I'll wear a brick watch on trial. I was like, all right, fine.
Yeah, he said to me, he's like, hey, he gave me 2 email addresses to send, but he's not going to send me a brick watch. I know. And I go, he'll send you one. He'll send it.
Nurse Deb, I'm hitting the beach in Florida, repping my disclaimer cap, JFK, free Karen Reed. Thank you so much, Nurse Deb. Wow. Hold on a minute. We got
crazy shit.
JFK, my favorite. Leslie, thank you so much. I appreciate it. You've been a member for 4 months. I appreciate that you keep sticking around. Jackie, thank you so much, girl. Appreciate you. And of course, Nurse Deb in the disclaimer hat. Appreciate you. Appreciate you all for sure. Yeah. So what do you feel about Tristan going over to this guy, buddying up?
I mean, that's. I mean, is he even getting called? I don't even think I heard his name on there. Did I?
Oh, he's getting called on our side. He's on our witness list. He didn't know nothing. You know, when he talked about Turtle Boy got into it, that's the context that they don't get into. Why and what was said, Portnoy? You know, he called Turtle Boy a snitch.
Yeah.
Why would you call Turtle Boy a snitch?
That's what I was trying. I was just about to say that, man. I remember that conflict when they were on like some little boardwalk and shit, and he was running his mouth.
They were insulting.
Kept calling him a fucking rat. You're a rat. You're a snitch. Fucking. I couldn't understand what the fuck that was about. I mean.
Yeah, he said nobody wants you here. Nobody likes you. Why would he call Turtle Boy a snitch? What did Turtle Boy snitch you out on?
I have no idea. That's what I mean. Unless he's looking at it like something happened. Why you fucking trying to fucking throw everybody under the bus?
And guess what? That's exactly the way he's looking at it.
You know.
So he's running up to the boss, dude, man. And Dave Portnoy is enabling this prick. Yeah, man, I'll give you a prick watch, dude. You know, you're on the trial. Nothing happened, man. I think she did it. Like, so now what? Like, you know, you see how this shit goes? You see how the laws of attraction work? What's the chances of Dave Portnoy doing something in Nashville? Probably had a gig out there.
Bumping into this dude.
And bumping into Tristan right after we did a podcast talking about Karen Reed. What's the chances of that? Well, the trial and the jury's being picked for the second trial.
Yeah.
Wow, Kevin, you should see the car that just pulled up, bro. Holy shit, bro. This old school, damn, I can't turn my camera around. Man, it's a, I think it's an Impala.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know. It's green, bro. It's got the rallies out here. They got the old schools, bro. And it mint clean because no rust.
No,
but
I know,
thing,
man.
This thing's probably like, I would say this thing's like a 74, 75.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll take a picture of it, man, right now. And put it up. Check out this whip right here. You tell me what it is. Is it an Impala? It might be an Impala. Let me see. Let me take a picture. This thing's bad to the bone, bro.
Yeah, a lot of clean cars out that way, man.
Clean. Let me send it to myself and I'll put it up on screen so everybody can see it. Check out this car that just pulled up on me, people. It's the little shit in life, like I said earlier. But yeah, what would be the chances of that, bro?
Man, I don't know. And for him to run up on him, you know what I mean? I mean, you figured he's looking for some kind of attention. You know?
Well, they were talking, bro. You know they were talking.
Oh, definitely.
I love the color to this thing, too.
You heard them. I mean, you heard him though. He was kind of like, you know, like I don't know, man. I don't want to fuck with Turtle Boy and shit, man. Like, yo,
yeah, he asked, "Are you afraid of Turtle Boy?"
Huh?
This is the whip. This is the whip that's right beside me. Check it out.
Yo, that's
look at that
badass. Yeah.
What is that? Is that an Impala?
It looks like a Malibu.
It's a four-door,
like a 66
an older Malibu?
fucking
66, huh?
Yeah. Square body.
Look at that thing, bro. Clean. It's right next to me right now. It's sitting next to me. He just popped the hood.
Yeah.
It's funny. He's got the same shit on as me right now. He's
Yeah, it
flying.
might be a Malibu. It's kind of weird. I mean, it's boxy, you know. To me, that's like a 67, 68.
Dude, the color green on that, Lisa, is so. This picture gives it no justice because I
Yeah,
zoomed
that's
in a
like
little bit. It's
that's like
clean.
a
I'm talking.
sea. I think they call that sea foam green. It's pretty badass.
It's right next to me right now. Should I get out the car and he's out the car right now under the hood. Should I jump in the driver's seat and peel off on him? Disclaimer.
Disclaimer. Shit.
Nah, you see
Def
this
could
all
have
day
some
out
fun.
here.
Yeah, you Def could have some fun in that for the next half hour.
Yeah, another thing, you'll get killed out here like that. Everybody got a gun out here. Josie will tell you. Everybody in the South, man, got 2 pistols on them, maybe
yeah.
3. You know, no problem, man.
Yeah, you
no
don't
problem.
fuck around out there.
Nah. Oh, it's a 66 Chevy Impala. See, your man JFK was right. I said 70, but I said it was an Impala. I don't think they made a Malibu that style. That's an Impala.
Yeah,
66.
66.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
ask him.
66. Or, yeah, 67 might have been a little longer, but
Let me ask
it
him.
reminds me of a 66, that back window, the way that is.
Hey, my man. Yo, what year is that? He's shutting it off. It's so. Yeah, the year. 70. Nice. All right, brother. It's a 70. I said 74.
Nice car.
Gotta love shit like that, man. It's the little shit, bro. It's the little shit that puts smiles on my face, man.
Yeah.
Shit like that, man.
If it's an Impala, it'll have three round lights in the back when it drives away on each side.
I'll ask him right now. Hey, my man, is that an Impala? Is that an Impala? Oh, it's a Caprice. Oh, okay. Nice. It's a Caprice, but it's the same shit. Impala, Caprice. So they
Damn,
made
bro.
a Caprice in 70,
that shit's
huh?
clean, man.
Yeah, same shit. He's like, yo, man, it's a Caprice, man, but an Impala, man, it's the same, man.
Yeah.
Down south, dude. He didn't know what I was saying. I'm like, an Impala. He's like, what? He's like, Impala? Because they ain't used to that lot. Like, you know what I mean? They don't talk like us. It's mad funny, man. I be having fun out here with that shit. They're like, where you from, man? You from New York? I'm like, nah. I'm from Boston. They're like, it's the same thing. They're like, I'm like, no, it ain't.
Yeah, it must be crazy. I notice like sometimes when you do the lives, man, you're it's light out over there. It gets dark here, you know. You can tell you're in a different part.
Yeah, it gets it doesn't get dark out here until 9 o'clock.
Today was nice, man, around here. It was like, I don't know, like maybe 55 most of the day. It was nice.
Oh, there he is, dude. He just peeled out, kid. Oh yeah, it's got the lights in the back. Oh, he's killing it, dude. Out the side. He just flew out of here sideways.
Nice.
Yeah, it's got the bottom bumper. There's no round lights on the trunk. It's the lights are on the
the bumper
on the bump. Yeah. Tristan, is that you? Oh man, love the old schools.
I don't know. What do you think he said to this dude?
I mean, think about it.
What the fuck you think Tristan or whatever his name is said to fucking Portnoy?
You know he gave him a fucking earful,
right?
Because he's got them a powerful. Now think about it. Now keep in mind, people, the guy Portnoy, since he did this initial first, I think Karen Reed is guilty. They took it and put it on court TV. So Tristan knows that this guy, no matter what he says and when he says it, it's going to get coverage because where Dave Portnoy goes, people follow. Where Karen Reed goes, people follow.
Yeah.
So he's looking at it. He got skin in the game. So think about it. Jen McCabe. They're all in it together. They're all saying, oh, when you see him, tell him this and tell him that and tell him to say something again. You know, it's like it's you know, because people know, hey, that's the pizza guy. The one bite, everybody knows the rules.
Yeah.
Now, like I said, I don't know if it's going to affect the jury, but it affects the perception of a whole uh, younger millennial crowd. Or like mid-millennial, like a Wade Baba, like 35, 34. I think Wade's like 33. He's young.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, these dudes they play Call of Duty. You know what I mean? They're still trying to get rid of their Jordan collection. Their fucking Jordans are in boxes breaking apart and shit because they never wore them. And they're still holding on to them like they mean something. It's like, yo, buddy, fucking give up the ghost. Throw the Jordans out the window, man. Less is best. So, they're still caught up in their vices, that millennial crowd, but then the Gen Zs that are connected too. They just look at it like attitude and things she said. And if Dave Portnoy's leading, that sports genre, she's guilty, and think about it, this is sports radio. This is sports. And not only did they speak about it, Dave Portnoy, Boston, Felger and Maz, today I heard on Felger and Maz, they were talking about it. On Felger and Maz.
Yeah.
That's wild, bro. So what did he say? Whatever he possibly could say to, listen, man, we're not guilty, right? That chick is fucking crazy, right? You know we didn't do this, right? And it's like, it's a moment. He caught him in a moment in time. That was probably the biggest excitement he ever had in his life, meeting Dave Portnoy.
Yeah. Yeah. He wasn't excited when he met Turtle Boy.
Right. And he called Turtle Boy a snitch. So be clear. Tristan left his girl. If you guys, if you're on the Replay crew, I just want to say we love you too. Replay. And if you're not familiar with the case, Tristan is a witness. He is the boyfriend of Caitlin Albert, which is the daughter of Big Bad Brian A., who was in the house. Caitlin was. Tristan left. He actually, go figure, his side job was being a plowman. So when that storm hit, he told her, you stay here. It's your brother's birthday. This is where it doesn't make sense. Think about your brother's birthday. Hang with your brother. Chill with him. And I'm going to go plow, when the snow picks up tomorrow during the day. And chill with your family, and I'll be back. But instead, no, it didn't happen. She got picked up around 2 a.m.
Yeah.
By Tristan. So she got dropped off by Tristan. And then Tristan went all the way back to his house. I forget where he lived, but I know he lived like 30 minutes away. He went all the way back to his house. And then he came back to pick her up at 2 a.m. to get her out of there. Why? When she could have just stayed at her parents' house and chilled in the blizzard. And it was her brother's birthday. Why not hang out? Plus, she was drinking. But he went all the way back to pick her up.
Wonder why did she have to dip like that? Why was it
not only did she,
I got to be there.
And not only, and he got to get up at 4 a.m., 5 a.m. to get ahead of the snow. Got to go get his coffee. You know what I mean? He's looking at the weather all day long, all night. What are they saying? What are they saying? Now, with that being said, he left there at, I think he left he left around 12. So then he pulled up there at 2 a.m. or something like that, 1:45 a.m. He pulled up there. He didn't see John. He was outside waiting for her. He pulled right up, right where John would be right in front of him like this. John would be right in front of him. He pulls up. He doesn't see John. And she comes in the car. Then they drive the whole length of the lawn, and he doesn't see John.
Yep. Unfucking believable.
But he's seen Portnoy. He's seen Portnoy, though.
Then John wasn't there. No,
absolutely John wasn't there. Absolutely not. How we doing, Chad? How we feeling? Patty Girl gifted 1 JFK membership. Thank you, Patty. Appreciate you. He didn't go get her? Josie said he didn't go get her. She lied. So what happened? She stayed? Tristan is a straight clown. Guess where Caitlyn works? I don't know. You tell me. Amphetis, have you subscribed to Danny yet? Oh, no, that ain't Amphetis. That's Mary B. My bad. She's saying, Amphetis, have you subscribed to Danny yet? Sorry, I read that wrong. She what? I'm trying to catch it. She appointed to Mara Haley? AG's office, huh? JFK, Tristan lives in Easton. How far is that? About 30 minutes, Jay? Wow, AG's office, huh? Attorney General. Ain't that some shit? Sam Poop. Now, guess what? Our boy, the TikToker, back to the millennial, he's back. He's back. And he did this. This is after he's seen the documentary. This is the guy who's seen the documentary, and this is what he's saying on TikTok. Check him out.
Is this whole taillight thing.
You ready?
That you can't. Is this whole taillight thing. That you can't.
Did you just crack it?
Yeah.
So as you just saw in that video, I just shattered my brother's taillight with a small tap from my fist. So there's only two possible things that can be true. One is it is possible to break a taillight.
That you can't. Is this whole taillight thing. That you can't.
Did you just crack it?
Yeah.
Looks like it was already cracked, though, bro.
That you can't.
You see it? Looks like there was already a mock in there.
Is this whole taillight thing. That you can't.
Did you just
That you can't. Is this whole taillight thing. That you can't.
Did you just crack it?
Yeah.
So as you just saw in that video, I just shattered my brother's taillight with a small tap from my fist. So there's only two possible things that can be true. One is it is possible to break a taillight with your bone or with an arm or with a hand. Or two, I'm Superman. And FKR is completely correct. It's impossible to break the taillight. Let me know in the comments what you think is more likely.
Bro, what are you getting out of this, my man? Go ahead, man. Kevin, man. Talk to this fool.
Man. I mean, I have to. I mean, that's a totally different car, by the way. You know.
Oh, we got hammer time. We got the scientists in this. Be in trouble right now. Be in trouble with the hammer, my man. We got the receipts, bro. That shit was already cracked. But you did that video knowing it was already cracked, knowing it's not a Lexus, and knowing that you're lying. But yet you're still looking for that cheap pop. You're looking for them views. You're looking for what? Because you're against Karen. So you want to see Karen get locked up. Like, who are you, man? Like, what are you doing? Like, you're making videos on TikTok, like spreading this crazy narrative. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see that being possible, you know?
Hell no, it's not possible. But still, even if it was, why are you going around punching taillights?
You know?
Like, what is the point of you? So I said this earlier in my live. When you do shit like that, my man, you're on the side of these corrupt people. Whether you like it or not, that might not be your intentions, my man, but you're on the side of Proctor. Proctor is a Massachusetts corrupt state trooper. Well, disclaimer, he was a Massachusetts state trooper. No longer. Now, there's another state trooper. If you don't believe Proctor did what he did, there's another state trooper that was driving around. And he actually was looking for mindless, boundless millennial. He was hoping he bumped into him. Because being a state trooper, we all know sucks. It blows.
Fuck.
I know I said that a lot. Pull over, pull down your pants. You know, that's what it is, my man. So if you think a state trooper wouldn't plant taillights, well, there's a state trooper that pulled people over on Memorial Drive who just got indicted and said, pull over. By the way, pull down your pants. Oh, and then there's another guy, another kid, Dominican dude. He wanted to be a Massachusetts state trooper. He wanted to break the cycle. His name was Enrique. They put a gag order on the. We're talking about the Mass state troopers. Every time you bang that tail light, bang, look at me bang the tail light. The free Karen readers, tell me what you think. Bro, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're doing it just to do it. That shit is corny.
Yeah.
Enrique, how do you say his name? Sorry. I keep saying it wrong.
Enrique,
right? Sorry. Disclaimer. My tongue's getting tied. My man got beat up. Right? Bad in that boxing ring. They killed him. Teeth were missing, the whole shit. There's a gag order. That ain't no coincidence. Proctor got fired, and there's a state trooper pulling people over. Oh, by the way, whoop, whoop, pull over and pull down your pants. And you're sitting there banging taillights, and you're on the side of them, which only makes me believe that you must be a cop. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I've only seen this dude a couple of times, fucking a few times on this show. And I don't know what he's trying to get out of it, But I guess, it comes with the fucking territory. You're gonna get these fucking weirdos trying to get views and shit, you know what I mean? But that, that's usually it. You know what I'm saying? They it's like a troll, man. They get tired of trolling, People start ignoring them. I don't really get what he's getting out of it. I mean, he's trying to throw the mix in there and shit. He's trying to stir the pot.
That's crazy. When that's a lie, because the taillight was already broken. You already seen a hole in it. And you're such a dummy anyway. If it's that easy to crack a tail light like that, then that means when she backed out and bumped into the car, her tail light cracked. So if anything, you're helping us out, you idiot.
Yeah. I mean, dude. I mean, I get what, like when we go back to Karen's taillight, she backed out of that garage, dude. I'm telling you, the garage door didn't go down. She was fucking panicking. She fucking couldn't get that door to shut. She was like, fuck it, I'm going to just back the fuck out. You know what I mean? She fucking backed right into that fucking car. You could see it in the video. And I remember her saying that she pulled one piece of taillight out. Like she seen that the taillight was broken. And at John's house, she removed one piece. And like when they put all that taillight together, there was one piece missing. It was the piece that she took the fuck out.
There you go.
There's
no way there was 42. There was no way there was 42 pieces of taillight, my man.
No, but
you punched that taillight. You punched that taillight. Was there 42 pieces of taillight? Like that's what I'm saying. Like that's overkill. Is it possible you could have broke that with a fist? Who knows? Maybe. I don't know. But you're talking about 42 pieces of shattered taillight that the police on the scene that morning did not see. Come on, which side are you on, man? You got to question that. If you're gonna do a video on the taillight, you would have to question the 42 pieces of shattered taillight that they didn't find the morning of, but found the night of. I mean, you have to question it to be fair. You're just attacking Karen. You know what I mean? I'm not saying you can't have an opinion that Karen is not guilty. That's not what I'm saying. That is guilty. That's fine. You can have that opinion. But you can't just overlook the shit they did. You know what I mean? Or the shit that just doesn't make sense. Because it's factual. There's so much stuff that don't make sense. And there is stuff that makes Karen look bad. We're not denying that. This channel don't deny that. But you got to look at the overall view. She
Yep.
did a documentary not to, I don't think her intentions was to stir the jury pool and make people love her. I mean, come on. Everybody says how Karen doesn't come off as a likable person. You don't think Karen knows that? You know what I'm saying?
She's been through it, bro.
Exactly. But I'm just saying, Karen knows her personality. She knows, like, she's just one of them people that has some people understand her, some people don't. And I'm sure her lawyer said to her, listen, this could go either way. People might not like you. I mean, listen, when I started this YouTube channel, be clear, a lot of people didn't like me. They didn't like the hat. They didn't like the glasses. They didn't like the rap. They didn't like it. They didn't like, oh, what is he doing? He's a thug. He's this. He's that. Turtle Boy whole shit when he used to diss people was the box hats. Oh, he's got a box hat on. So, everybody that followed Turtle Boy was like, look at his hat. He's got the square hat on. He's a fucking this. He's that. He's no good. He's a piece of shit. I dealt with it. But you deal with the punches, and that's the chance you take when but then you show yourself and you give the receipts and say, hey, it's deeper than that. And Karen took that, and put that through the documentary and was hoping that people seen through the impression that they might see at certain pieces of the documentary. Oh, she was unkind there, or she was not sympathetic there. But like you just said, she'd been through it, and the context and the completeness. She was during trial. This is a 3-year thing. This wasn't just happened. This happened in 2022. Disclaimer, it's 2025.
This girl's whole fucking shit changed that day. That fucking day, man. The day this shit went down and John passed away, this girl's life has fucking changed. She's been going through it, man. And it could be a lot worse, man. I've said this before, man. She's got some good people. She's got this exposure, the support, good lawyers and shit. I mean, if she didn't have nothing, you know what I'm saying? She'd be locked the fuck up in a fucking orange jumpsuit, waiting for her next phone call, waiting to talk to her lawyer. She wouldn't have this fucking, she'd be hemmed the fuck up.
I'm just saying, anytime you put yourself out there, you ain't got nothing to hide. If I'm out here on these platforms, right, you got people who jump in the chat all the time and make it seem like there's another layer of me, like I'm hiding something. Why, if I'm hiding anything, and I'm just using me as the parallel. Why would me and Kev be hiding anything if we're going live? You got to look at the evidence. We wouldn't be going live if there was another layer to us. Just like Karen wouldn't be doing documentaries if she was guilty. Because why ain't the witnesses doing documentaries talking about how they called them murderers? You got Dave Portnoy right there, Barstool, man. Hit him up. Go on his podcast, Tristan. Tomorrow, he would have put you on the podcast like that. Why didn't you go on there talking about the case, talking about what you're going through, talking about how people think you're a murderer? You know what I'm saying? Why ain't you doing that? Because you got something to hide. That's the reason why you fought with Turtle Boy and called him a snitch. You called him a snitch because you're like, yo, why are you in our business and you're trying to throw us under the bus? If you were not guilty and you didn't do no crime, you wouldn't be talking like a thug. You wouldn't be saying the word snitch. There's nothing to snitch about. If you did nothing, there's no snitching. You use the word snitch, Tristan. That's a strong, strong word.
Well, let me tell you something. I'm sure one of them motherfuckers in that circle, I mean, even though he ran up to him and put a bug in his ear or whatever, we'll see. Maybe he will go on the show. But, Hank's been plucking all these fucking clips, man. I'm sure the defense would be all over that if he says one wrong fucking thing,
Speaking of that, check this out. Let's play a little bit of this. This lady, man, this is the lady who played Portnoy. You guys already know who this lady is. I forget her name. You guys could tell me her name. She's on Court TV. I don't even know why they let her be so biased on this.
Opportunity and means, all of which Brian Higgins, and Colin Albert had.
All right, let's talk about these contradictions and how both sides are going to have to handle them. I have two sensational trial attorneys on the program this morning. Let me welcome them in. Joe Krowski, who practices in Boston, and Mario Gallucci. Good morning to you both. Two defense heavy hitters now. You both were prosecutors way back when, too. So I'm going to ask one of you to look at this from the prosecutor side, the other from the defense side. So, Joe, help me out from the state's side here. How do they need to handle these contradictions that are so blatant?
Well, it's not a matter of handling them, right? It's now the ability and the opportunity to make use out of them. Karen Reed has a sacrosanct right to remain silent, and she chose voluntarily as part of what, in my mind, is an ill-conceived pretrial strategy to taint the jury pool, to make different statements. The problem is when you make statements, you better make sure that they are thought out and that they are consistent and that they are plausible. It's just the opposite of what we've seen. A lot of her statements have been replete with contradictions, and probably most compelling and of most use to the prosecution is they've been admissions. So I think they've actually gifted these statements to the prosecution that it's just a treasure trove of information that they're going to make use of at trial.
Joe, well said. Mario, help me out on the defense side. How do they manage this?
So Joe's right. You know, she did not testify at the first trial. So it gave the ability for the defense in the second trial to basically put whatever defense they would like forward. But in the same vein, you know, letting her go out and make all these admissions and statements now prevents you from maybe putting her on the stand this time. And what is the proof that you have that any of this happened? I think they opened up a cornucopia of evidence that they'll be allowed to use at this trial. And I don't think it was helpful at all.
Right. I am in agreement with you, Mario. We have a couple more clips I want to show you both of some contradictions, and this going to the ultimate issue, you know, whether she hit John O'Keefe. Let's take a look.
During your first discussions with Karen, did she believe she may have hit John?
No. She felt she struck something. She said, Dad, I think I struck something. I said, what do you mean? Right? This was in the hospital. Right? She says, I remember, all right, backing up and hitting something.
So did you drive your car into John?
I did not drive my car into John. Didn't reverse it. Did not hit John with my car.
Is there any chance this was an accident?
There's zero chance this was an accident.
All right, Joe Krowski, back to you on this. We got Dad in the mix now as part of these contradictions. Your thoughts?
So look, this is what I was talking about. Those statements are going to be devastating to the defense. First, her father admitted that Karen acknowledged that she hit something. Now, the defense, I'm sure, is going to try to spin that she was referring to backing into John's Traverse at Meadows Lane. Unfortunately, even the ARCA experts called by the defense conceded that low impact backing into the Traverse could not have caused the damage to the taillight. And I also noticed in pretrial motions leading up to that the Commonwealth has retooled their prosecution and is set to present expert testimony that the two cars didn't line up, so that wasn't the cause of the damage to the taillight. Also, the statement that she didn't put the car into reverse is belied by the event data recorder. Now, look, witness testimony is fraught with contradictions and human frailties, but event data recorder is pretty solid evidence. So it's another example where Karen Reed either contradicts herself or contradicts the forensic evidence. Neither one is helpful.
You're right, Joe. And as you and Mario both know, there have been so many contradictions that she's put out into the public realm. We just don't have enough time in this segment to play them all. Mario Gallucci, what I want to ask you, please, looking at this from the defense perspective, I'm so curious. If you were trying this case and representing Karen Read, what defense would you go with for her?
That she didn't do it, obviously. I thought the first defense worked brilliantly. I thought they did a very good job with, making believe or doing whatever they did to say that it wasn't her that did it, that there was proof that showed that he could have been beat up. We had the dog marks on the arm. So I thought that defense worked very well. She got the retrial. They brought in a juror, although she was an alternate juror, onto the team. And, making her make all of these statements to the public is just not what I would have, not the way I would have done it. I would have had to keep quiet, let your lawyer talk, let the lawyer do what he does best.
Right, Mario, exactly. And backing up even further, I think something that's a little known fact was that initially, at the very outset, before Karen Read had 5 other attorneys, when she just had David Yannetti at her first hearing, Joe Krowski, I'm sure you may recall this, when David Yannetti was asking for bond for her and making arguments, he essentially indicated to the court in so many words that this was an accident, that my client loved her boyfriend, that there was no intent here. He kept saying there was no intent, to hit him, anything like that. I can't remember his exact words, but it was along those lines of accident, a lack of intent. Do you think that she would have been smarter to stick with that theory? Do you think, Joe, could she have possibly avoided, a murder conviction and much of her life in jail if convicted, if she would have gone that route?
Oh, I think so. The implication, right? And David Yannetti, when he was handling the case exclusively, was representing her with a more conventional defense, a defense in my mind that probably would have been more effective. You bring in a Hollywood lawyer and you come up with a Hollywood defense. And my criticism of the defense is third-party culprit is one thing, but it was just too wide and too thin to be plausible and believable, essentially backing the district attorney's office into a corner.
Really?
I think they made the case into much more than it had to be. I would have tried it conventionally, pointed out deficiencies in the investigation and the evidence collection, and made use of a much more traditional defense. And I think they would have been better served doing that. What David Yannetti did, making that statement on behalf of his client, is the way you can do it. It's the way you can get your story out there, and you can get statements out there from your client without your client waiving his or her Fifth Amendment right to remain silent and not give testimony against herself.
Right, Joe. Yeah, I often think about that because it was a clip that hasn't really been widely shared, but I've seen it, and terrible accidents can happen. And it seemed that was the way David Yannetti wanted to go with this. Now, Joe, if she's convicted of the top count, which is second-degree murder, not first-degree, so for our friends at home, no premeditation is needed here. Joe, is there a mandatory attached with that charge or any of the other ones?
Oh, in Massachusetts, second-degree murder carries a life sentence. The only distinction between first-degree and second-degree is that one is parole eligible between 15 and 25 years. Second-degree murder, for your viewers, does not even require a specific intent to kill. It could require as little as a specific intent to do an act which creates a plain and strong likelihood that grievous bodily injury might result. So yes, the minimum mandatory sentences and the potential penalties are significant. The lesser charge, if you will, is not that much of a lesser charge. The OUI manslaughter still carries a fairly draconian 5-year minimum mandatory state prison sentence in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. So there is a lot at stake for the defendant Read here, clearly.
Wow. And I don't think the penalties are talked about often enough. I think when you really think about realistically what's ahead, Mario, tell me, for Karen Read, we know that there's been an awful lot of publicity, much of it her own doing, as we know. She's wanted to affect the public opinion. Tell me, at the end of the day, you've seen a lot. Can she get a fair trial?
So it's very, I just tried a high publicity case, as you know, in New Jersey, where, we were swamped on a daily basis by, not only the media, but also, Facebook people who were out there with their own page.
The reason why I played that, because they were talking like the trial's already over. They're talking like she already lost. Now, I understand they put in perception. They put the perception out there that what she's looking at for time. And I want everybody to be clear. As much as we hate these people, that's the information they gave us. If Karen Reed is found guilty, Judge Bev is going to have no remorse on her. That's fucking scary. And Krowski is already acting like she lost. And the trial didn't even happen. And this is the same guy like we talk about. I just seen Turtle Boy writing articles on Gary Zarola. Your man J.F.K. been talking about Gary Zarola, Hank Brennan, and Krowski. They're the three stooges. I don't even understand why this guy, he's a defense attorney. He just, last year, the same time Karen got found in a mistrial, he got Gary Zarola got found guilty and only got a 5. I think Gary got 5 to 10 or something like that. So he just represented Gary Zarola, a rapist who didn't do this 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. This guy beat 4 other rape cases. This was like his 5th one. He had 3 of them going at the same time. As a lawyer, you went for the money. You went for the grab. It's dried up. They used to get drug money, these people. The Oxycontin game back in 2008, from 2005 to like 2008, things were booming. It was a boom period. Lawyers were loving it because people were getting caught with the pills. People were getting caught with drugs. There was mandatory sentences and guidelines still happening. And the system was on and popping. And the lawyers were making money. The Krowskis, the Brennans, and the Garys. And they found ways to manipulate the system and get guys off. And especially if they could get the money. And they would do anything to get a person found not guilty. They would pull all types of tricks. And the same type of tricks that Hank Brennan is trying to get Karen found guilty on. The same tricks Gary, Krowski, and Brennan was doing to get people found not guilty. Now he's using his tricks to get her found guilty. And Krowski's in on it. As you can see, he's in on it, and he was calling his lawyer.
Crazy. That's a vicious circle right there.
Vicious. The money dried up. So they need money. So this guy's on court TV, whatever how he's doing it. He's trying to find a wave. He's trying to pay bills. I don't know what his game is. I don't know what Krowski's game is. So what? You defended Colin. You know what I mean? But that doesn't mean anything. Just because they're saying you can't name him in the particular third-party culprit in that defense does not mean he didn't have anything to do with it. And it doesn't mean we're not going to build up to that. It doesn't mean we're still not going to implicate Colin Krowski. You know better. No matter what, we're still going to bring Colin in the mix. He's still in the mix. He still was there. No matter what, he still was there. You can't erase those facts. He still was there. He's still going to answer the question why his hands were like that a week later, 2 weeks later. And he's going to answer. And keep in mind, he has to answer the same way he answered last trial. It's all transcribed. And that shit didn't go over well, and it doesn't go over well. He's still going to sit on the stand and say, nope, I never been in a fight. Nope, I slipped and I scraped my knuckles. I fell and I put my knuckles down. He's still going to go with that. He has to. Can't change it up. It's transcribed. And if he does, and if he flips it, he'll be handled accordingly.
Yeah, he definitely can't change nothing up. They'll pick that shit all apart.
But it's like they talk about how Karen tries to taint the jury pool and how Karen tries to use the media as a way to get people to, look at this different. I mean, in all honesty, when you look at what they did, they got rid of a dog, right? He got bite marks on his arm. Big Bad Brian A. never left the house. How long to die in a cold text, deleted text messages, but it just goes down the line. The 12:20 text you come in here, 11:58 to fight. It just goes down the line. Inverted videos, Proctor's getting fired. That shit is worth talking about. But my point is, what you guys are doing now, using the media, Colin's out, and you guys are pushing that out there. Colin's out, so that means she's guilty. No, that doesn't mean that. Just because Colin's out of a defense, out of a so to speak, like a skit, out of a bit, like out of their scripts that they got to write up and push to the jury, just because he's out of it because of some legality, because of some bum ass judge, does not mean Karen's guilty. And you guys are pushing that heavy.
I agree.
And Krowski's leading the way. He's leading the way. Hey, guess what, Hank? Going on Court TV tonight. I got your back. No, Colin's definitely not out. Colin is definitely not out. Absolutely. But they're pushing the narrative that he is. He's out and he's safe. So if he's safe and he's out, then that's it. It never happened. You know what I mean? You got one person. It never happened. You know? I mean, it's just wild. It's wild to think.
You know, when you think about it, I mean, they kept that more or less like a secret. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, like even like Brian Albert on the stand and shit, like the way he answers, like I wasn't asked that. That's not the question they asked me. Like, come on, dude, you're a detective, man. I mean, he knows the rules. They all knew the rules, man. They all fucking knew the rules.
Big facts.
And they didn't comply with that shit. They hid shit. They threw shit away. There's even more shit to that house, man. Like you could lay down 15 to 20 things about that house, man. That, you know,
At least 6 calls she made to John O'Keefe.
They filled the pool in. They did work in the basement. They had, I mean, there was a picture, I believe, with Alan Jackson in that house, looking at the basement stairs going out. They were all freshly painted, and something was changed. And I'm telling you, man, something happened, and they covered that shit up. Got rid of the dog.
At least 6 calls she made to John O'Keefe between 12:29 and 12:50 that night.
I believe I used the word butt dials.
You claimed that every one of these calls was a butt dial. Is that right?
Yes.
That Jen deleted at least 6 calls she made to John O'Keefe between 12:29 and 12:50 that night.
I believe I used the word butt dials.
You claimed that every one of these calls was a butt dial. Is that right?
Yes.
Man, it's a fucking joke. That's the shit that blows my mind, man. All the bullshit with the phones and all that shit, man. It's like the state's trying to tell you that fucking it's not reliable and shit.
How about this guy?
Yeah. They really credit you with bringing out the government part of the corruption.
Well, you know, we expect our criminals to commit crimes. That's what criminals do.
Prosecute them and convict them, but they really credit you with bringing out the government part of the corruption.
Well, you know, we expect our criminals to commit crimes. That's what criminals do. We don't expect that from our law enforcement.
Never visit Massachusetts based on this case?
Exactly, because you would go there as a visitor and leave as a felon or something.
Wild.
Crazy.
Wild. Fuckery Donuts is officially open. And remember one thing, you know, times get hard. You feel like your day's dragging. You feel like your pride and your ego or your motivation got a hole in it. Fill it up with a donut.
Really the little donut. Don't get divorced, get the donut. Cinnamon crumb donut, chocolate raised donut, old fashioned buttermilk donut, chocolate buttercream filling, banana. Ah, it's getting hot in here. Get the donut. Donut. Little donut, chocolate raised donut, old fashioned buttermilk donut, chocolate buttercream filling, banana. Ah, it's getting hot in here. Get the donut. Donut. Don't get divorced, get the donut. We are open 23/7. We only close from 1 a.m. to 2 a.m. Do I have to tell you what's going to happen during that hour? Making donuts. Get the donut.
Fuckery Donuts is officially open. I go by the name J.F.K. I got Kevy Kev, one of my panelists that comes on here and breaks it down, representing the LYNN Kevy Kev 781.
What up? What up?
Wow, bro. It's crazy. Over six phone calls, butt dials. And not only that, she erased them.
Yeah, I don't.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, how does it work?
That don't fit in, man.
Like, how could Krowski sit there and act like that means nothing? Like this right here. In the morning, they went to bring the donuts.
She got him donuts. I drove to 34 Fairview. And I saw her get out and got him donuts. 6 donuts. I've been doing it for years.
She likes to come by and bring, like, coffee and donuts.
I opened my car door.
Big Bad Brian A, you serious, man? I'm riding on you, boy. I've been letting you slide. I've been all over Higgins. I'm coming for you. You're next in the scope, Big Bad Brian A. Listen, I used to be all over you. I'm the one who named you Big Bad Brian A. Let's be clear. Go to the playlist. Let's go back. The receipts are there. Your man J.F.K. named him that. I've been all over you fools. Go to the playlist. Read between the lines. Disclaimer. It is what it is. But I'm coming back. New trials here, trial 2. I'm coming for you. You really sat there and say, oh, she likes to come by and bring coffee and donuts. She just happened to show up, and as she was leaving out the driveway, I yelled to her, hey, Julie, come here. What do you want from me? I'm dropping off the donuts in the car. It was open. There's snow all over it, and it's freezing out, and it's a fucking blizzard's it's already snowing, but it's even about to be more crazier. Like, it's like right around that time is when it picked up. 9, 10, 11 a.m. That's when it got nuts. Hold on a minute. I'm dropping off the coffee in the car. It's a ritual. Every year I bring them coffee and 6 donuts. The question is, what type of donuts do you like?
Yeah, you telling me she couldn't just walk in that house? You know?
Well, the thing is, you pull up, Higgins is there, everybody's there. You don't see everybody's car there? This is your Julie Albert. This is your brother-in-law's house. You know what car's which. You knew which car to drop the donuts off in. You don't see Jen's car there. You didn't see Higgins' Jeep. You didn't see like 4 extra cars in the driveway. But that's the thing. Their story is, and it's still the story. That's the best part about this trial, where as soon as we watch court TV and we watch these clowns talk the shit they talk, it gets you down because we don't like nobody talking down at us. Because, it's a reality. If she ever got found guilty, it's ugly. But that's when you got to just look at this fucking story again. There's no way. They already said what they said. She said she went in that driveway, dropped off the 6 donuts. It's a ritual. And as she was walking away, Big Bad Brian A opened up the door and said, hey, Julie, come in here. We got to talk. And she walks in there and she sees everybody in there. What's going on? I just brought the fucking donuts for the ritual. What's happening? Well, we found John on the lawn dead. Really? Come on, you already do, Julie. Stop it. Look at how weathered Julie is, too. This woman's 44 years old.
Dude, it ain't aging. It ain't aging good for her.
I drove to 34 Fairview, and I saw her get out and brought him donuts. 6 donuts, donuts, donuts. I've been doing it for years.
She likes to come by and bring like coffee and donuts.
I've been doing it for years. Yo, you've been doing it for years. 6 but so every year you leave the donuts in the car.
Right? It don't make sense.
Listen, we're from Massachusetts. There's a Dunk across the street from each other, down the street, around the corner. You go to Encore. There's a Dunks at Encore, outside Encore. Everywhere you go, everybody knows donuts. You got to get them while they're fresh. You cannot leave no donuts in a cold ass car.
Fuck no.
In the coffee? Come on.
I
Why
think
are you
she
leaving
took
it in the car? Because she got to act like she didn't know what happened. She got to act like she was randomly. She got to put herself there. She has to put herself there without the phone call, because then it's like, well, who told you to come there? Did anybody call you? No, nobody called you. But they did call you. They called you at 4:55. But you claim when they called you, you didn't pick up. You claim when they called, you didn't answer. No, you did answer. Excuse me. You did answer, and you said that, excuse me, disclaimer. You did answer, and you said that, no, she didn't walk home with anybody. But no, the fact is that's when they told you John died. And that's what you originally said when Proctor talked to you. You said that John died. You mentioned that at 4:55 a.m. And then you reneged and said you found out at 8 o'clock because you were dropping off the donuts. I mean, the shit just gets crazier and crazier. Oh, Jesus. 6 donuts, bro. Not even a dozen. What does a dozen run you nowadays, Kevy? You're muted up, buddy. You're muted. You there? No, you're all muted up. Hold on. You got to unmute your mic, pal.
My bad, bro. She must have
That's all
picked
right.
somebody up from there, man, in my eyes.
That too.
You know, it ain't aging well on any of them. You could see it. You could see it, man.
Look at the quirks on this dude, Chris A.
I knew they knew each other.
You're saying that they were acquaintances?
No, I guess they're friends.
You guess they're friends?
Yeah, they're friends. Was there something confused? Yeah, they're friends.
You actually woke up when he opened the bedroom door.
I don't think so.
God damn, you a quirky dude, man. Krowski, explain that. Isn't that what you look for when people are on the stand? The movements, the quirks. Isn't that what you look for, Krowski?
Yeah.
So all the sign, not only do you got all the evidence just speaking on it, look at them all on the stand. You got Big Bad Brian, a professional on the stand acting like a puppy. He was acting like a Shih Tzu. Like, oh, you know, I'm a good guy. Dude, he's a Boston detective. He's been on the stand 1,000 times ruining people's lives. He's a professional. And he was no selling like he was a police officer. He was no selling like he's not comfortable on that stand. Like he doesn't know exactly what he's doing on there.
He knows
exactly what to say. But he played it off like he was a puppy. You know what I mean? I would love to see him. Is there any footage of him on the stand, like going against somebody? I bet you he's a totally different person.
No, there was a
cordial.
There was a couple times that Big Brian A, you could see, man, it was just the way he was like, you know, curling his mustache and shit. Like he felt the heat. You know what I'm saying? It was a couple times he looked like he wanted to just explode. You know, and I noticed what they do too is they turn lights on and shit in that courtroom, man. They're fucking, you know, someone seems like they start glowing red and shit. They'll start turning lights on and shit. They're fucked up, man.
What do you mean? They turn the lights on. Explain.
You'll notice that shit, man. You'll still, you know, if someone's starting to get fucking, you can tell they're starting, their ears are starting to get red.
Phone calls
they're
after
fucking
you went to
getting
bed.
pressured.
Sir, did you make any phone calls after you went to bed between the hours of 1:45 a.m. and 6:30 a.m.?
Yes.
Who did you call?
I inadvertently called Brian Higgins.
You say you inadvertently called him at 2:22 in the morning.
Yes.
How did you inadvertently call him?
Well, I don't know
because it was inadvertent.
Isn't it true that at the other hearing you indicated that at or around the 2:22 time frame, you and your wife were in bed together in an intimate situation?
Yes, around that time.
This shit kills me, bro.
Wild, bro. We know what really happened. Why didn't you come outside, Big Bad Brian, eh? Take a look, people. He never came outside. He was making love to his wife. I love you, Nicole. I love you, Nicole. But we know what really happened. God damn. R.I.P. Officer John O'Keefe.
R.I.P.
What were they really doing? What were they really doing, chat? 438 people up in here. What were they really doing? I don't know because it was inadvertent. Professional.
Yeah, you can tell JFK, man, when he's talking on that stand, you know what I'm saying? His breathing, all that shit, man. He's been trained on that shit. His words are all spaced apart. And she's got that shit down to a science, just like passing a fucking polygraph and shit. He's got that shit, man.
Let's hear what Jimmy has to say.
Absolutely worried about it. Absolutely. Because if they manage to handpick 12 people to believe their nonsense, then we see it happen all the time. It could very well happen to Karen. If they try her on just a manslaughter, I think that the stakes are higher for her for a guilty verdict. I think it's better packaged all in one because it's impossible for reasonable people to believe what the Commonwealth is saying.
The courthouse is your whole life. What's the mindset of these people? Are they just regular people?
Me personally, I think they're a different breed of people, you know? All they do is go to work to try to, in my opinion, try to wreck people's lives. That's what they do.
Damn, Jimmy!
So she was a public defender. What's the type of job a public defender has? Like, for the people out there that's watching live right now, like what type of lawyer are they?
In my opinion, just always preparing to lose. They put on a good show, but I mean, there's wins now and then when they absolutely have to, when it's absolutely obvious that they should win. But I mean, they're just all part of the big cover-up game themselves too. They're all friends. They all hang out together. They all drink together. That's why you only have a shot in this system if you hire an attorney and just.
You think that she wants to have a revenge tour, so to speak, and show Karen how dark it could get in Superior Court? Do you think that's her motive, or she's thinking like that?
I mean, I definitely think she doesn't like Karen. I mean, it's obvious when they were deliberating back there, and she said something to Karen like, "You think this is funny, Miss Reed?" Like, she definitely has that out for Karen, and she's definitely jealous of Karen. Karen's before all this, she was a beautiful, professional, successful woman, you know. So she's probably jealous of Karen from all angles, and just wants to see her in prison for the rest of her life, and she can't wait to do it to her. But I don't think she's going to get that chance.
That's right, Jimmy.
That's
right,
right,
Jimmy
man.
T.
It's crazy.
It's wild, isn't it? It's wild to think, bro. It is wild to think. Because look at this guy right here going into the boxing ring.
Ego, right? If you don't get it in check, it will stop making decisions for you. And that's exactly what happened to Big Bad Brian A. See, he got on Boston's Finest. He got with Donnie Wahlberg.
Sergeant Albert cut his teeth as a Marine in Operation Desert Storm.
I mean, not only did John O'Keefe look at how crazy this gets. Now we find out John O'Keefe's best friend was a guy named Pat. Right?
Yeah.
And the guy Pat was on Boston's Finest with a guy named Big Bad Brian A, who happens to be a boxer. And we have footage of him lacing up, getting in the ring, taking it serious. Do you think for 1 minute, if voices got loud in his house, in the dungeon, he was letting that shit go? Just look at this. This is who this dude really is. It ain't the dude, you see Jimmy's puppy? That's what he was acting like on the stand. He was acting like Jimmy's puppy. But this is who he really is.
Sergeant Albert cut his teeth as a Marine in Operation Desert Storm. He views his work back in Boston as equally important.
It's crazy. I mean, I'm here to give awareness to people. You watch the JFK stream, this is what you're going to get. These are the characters. These are the characters that are unlocked. These are the characters that Krowski is acting like can just change their story. Krowski, did you not watch the first trial? You're acting like the second trial's already over. It hasn't even started yet. They're going to get on the stand. They have to say the same shit. They can't renege. They can't do nothing. Krowski, you want to put this word out to the public that Colin's not involved, that she did admissions. Dare I say everything I just showed you proves what type of people these people are. And it's only going to get worse. It's wild, man. It is wild style. That's what our boy said during his summation.
Only one other place that John could have been, and that's in the house. Exactly where the Apple Health data places him. So it all fits. And Ryan was right behind her, remember, staring at her taillights, undamaged, brightly lit. That brings up another difficulty for the Commonwealth, and that's their star witness, Jennifer McCabe. You'll recall that Jennifer McCabe claimed that she was looking out the door, staring at that SUV over and over and over again from 12:29 to 12:50. She was very specific about that time frame. But we know that the SUV was gone from 34 Fairview by about 12:30. Had to be in order to connect to the Wi-Fi at 12:36. So unequivocally, Jennifer McCabe was lying about watching that SUV, and it makes you wonder why. And to add to that deceit, she was also blatantly lying about the calls to John's phone. You remember that colloquy back and forth. She said that every single one of those calls to John's phone during that time was a butt dial, or was someone looking for John's phone. Let's talk for a second about what actually happened in the time leading up to everyone going to 34 Fairview. Brian Albert, Brian Higgins show up drunk at the waterfall. They'd been drinking in the afternoon. You know about the flirtatious texts that were sent between Karen Reed and Brian. Higgins was clearly pining over Karen, but for her, the flirtation had ran its course. It was done. She was happy and committed to John. You could see that in her actions with John that night. Brian Higgins, however, you can see in his actions, he wasn't quite so satisfied, and he wasn't done. His text message, well, meaning, what the hell, Karen? What about me? Seemed aggressive, seemed annoyed. He didn't like being ignored. That was pretty clear. So he's 5 or 6 whiskeys deep into the night by this time, and she continued to ignore him. Then oddly, Higgins, who doesn't know John all that well, seems to want to coax John to 34 Fairview. I draw your attention to the waterfall tape if you want to take another look at it. It's at the 11:57 mark, between 11:57 and 11:58. Take a look at that tape. He's just about to leave. Higgins is just about to leave. He points over at John and he motions for him. Come on. Come with me.
But you forgot one thing. Not only did he motion for him, the pizza man manhandled him. The pizza man manhandled an ATF agent. Just to put it into perspective, Chris A is a pizza man. He makes pizzas. Higgins is an ATF agent. He got manhandled. Then he said, come on. And then John said, what's up? Then there was a 1220 text. So believe me, that's going to be a little bit more solid next time around. The waterfall. It's crazy how he mentioned it towards the end. But he didn't hop on it towards the beginning. Isn't that crazy? Shit is wild, man. Phone lines are open if you want to talk to J.F.K. Kevy Kev 781. Give us a call. We want to hear what you got to say. How we feeling about trial number 2? How we feeling? When do you think it's going to start? What's your feelings? How you feeling right now about trial number 2? Right now in the right now. Heel toe, for sure. You know.
Yo, man, that waterfall, that shit speaks volumes, man. It's just
is what it is, right?
Just unbelievable, man. I was just, you see all that tension. All the key players were there.
There's a place where everybody goes. It's a place not.
He was there. He was there amongst people that he maybe he believed they were his friends, man. But they did him fucking so dirty, man. It's sad.
And they're continuing to do him dirty.
It's fucking sad, man. Because I'm going to tell you something right now, man. I mean, even, situations like that, man, when you're out with your friends, man, if, man, if something pops off, man, I mean, someone in that circle has got your back, man.
John O. SUV or equal mass couldn't cause a 47-piece break, neither could a human body. For sure.
Tracy.
You're live with JFK.
Hi, how you doing, Tracy?
What's up, Tracy? How you feeling?
From Boston. Good. You know what? The waterfall video, right? Why doesn't anybody find the older gentleman that they had remember he at the 11:57, 11:58 on the video?
Somebody told me his name's Rudy.
Yeah, they should talk to him because he clearly beelined out of the way of something going on. He must know. That's sad. But the Krauskys, the father and the son, they're both attorneys. They're out here campaigning for Hank because they're all about to be exposed. It's like when everyone found out that Whitey was, working with the FBI. You know what I mean? Everything's going to come to a head.
True.
They're just trying to, they're all defense attorneys, but all of a sudden, I don't know.
So how you feeling about trial number 2 so far?
You know what? I just don't trust it. I just don't. I know the truth is in her favor. I just don't know if a jury of our peers is possible.
What do you think's going to happen in June? Guilty or not guilty? Honest opinion, as of right now. What you feeling right now? You don't want to say.
That's why I come on. That's why I board this plane because everywhere else I'm starting to feel not so good. Because everything just seems to keep getting shut down. But and I don't want to have that. That's why I'm like always looking out for when you're going to be opening up your lines, basically, because it's just It's not right. It's just not right. And I know a lot of these characters, and it just makes me crazy. It's not, I mean, it's just not. She didn't do it. I mean, that's just the bottom line. Like Krause's talking about the black box in the car going against those forensics, but yet the medical examiner. I don't even know why she's charged with second-degree murder when they didn't even list his manner of death.
Hold on a minute. Hold on 1 minute. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah.
Fetish just said in the chat. She just made a bold statement. Can you see that, TG? Yeah. I'll wait for the stream to catch up. Am I on your TV or your computer? Where am I at? Where are you watching me at?
You're on my TV.
I'm on your TV. What up? How am I looking on your TV? Am I looking all right, TG, or what?
You're looking good. You're looking good. You and Kev.
Thank
you.
you.
As he lights that cigarette right there. Look at him.
Hey, look at this right here. Did you see that? Did you see that on the screen?
What's that?
Read it.
Say that again. What is that?
It's on the screen right now. Fetish. I pulled it up. Look what it says.
It's not on my screen. I got James Harrop. Is it in the chat or is it in the...
It's on the screen. You got to wait for it to catch up, I guess. I mean, it's still playing, so. Right? Did you stop your TV? Did you stop?
I didn't stop my TV. Nope. It's still playing. I have your phone number on there, and I have on the chat Sarah Clancy. Fetish, how can you say the Commonwealth won't lose? They will lose because those mistakes that the defense heard.
No, Fetish said it's underneath me. I pushed it up.
Oh, okay, yeah. The Commonwealth won't lose again. Hate to say it. Mm-hmm. Wow. I don't want to believe that to be true. It's gonna be. It has to be a mistrial. She cannot be convicted. There's no way. No way.
I mean, and Fetish, I mean that with all due respect. I'm not putting that out there. I mean, Fetish works in that industry, man,
and I did too for years. Trust me.
I mean, it's a reality. It's a reality we all got to deal with. That this shit is fucking crazy, and I'm not putting that up there to shit. I'm not trying to shit on anybody and trying to make it seem like hey, she's wrong. Fetish is wrong or this one's wrong. That's why I played that video today about the sentencing guidelines. Like, this shit is scary.
No, it is scary, but they're all working overtime. Like what are they? They're doing background checks. I heard on these potential jurors, right? Like I've never heard that before. Background checks. That means they're going to have all their information, and that sounds like witness intimidation, if you ask me. Like that's juror intimidation. You're going to do background checks. What?
Bridget 752 said people will go nuts if Karen Reed is found guilty.
Well, we should be going. Yeah, we can't even go down there and like walk by the courthouse 5 times, and you like, that's insane. It's insanity. Like, I feel like.
I just want to say something. Fetish, I'm just having you join the conversation because you know what you're talking about. She knows what she's talking about, and she's invested, and she wants to free Karen Reed. She didn't say that. Be clear. I'm speaking on the behalf of Fetish. Be clear. She didn't say that. I'm talking to the chat. I'm sorry, TG. Chat. She didn't say that because she wants to see Karen guilty. Believe me, that's the last thing she wants. She said that
I know
because she's being realistic.
Yeah.
And
that's right.
and you know what? It's a fucking horror show. It's scary, and it's tough. It's a tough gig. It's tough what we're up against. That's all. That's the reality of it.
Like when Krause's like, we're gonna go against the black box in the car, right? But yet ARCA, we're not gonna believe them. Like what are we, stupid? I feel stupid. This is what sucks, because I feel stupid.
You feel stupid.
That we have to like watch this. Every motion gets denied. Everything that the defense wants to do to defend her gets denied. And like Hank can just put his Eddie Haskell hat shit, little school choir boy act up, and like get what he wants. It's insane. It just frustrates me.
Well, listen, TG, I'm going to go on to the next call. It's always great. It's always great to hear from you, and I appreciate you so much. All right, and we'll talk again soon, right? Are you going down to Dedham anytime soon?
If you come into town, I will. I just
when I come into when you follow me on my Facebook and shit.
I don't get on there much, but I will. I'm gonna start doing that stuff.
So when I'm in town, I'll
Yeah.
announce when I'm in town, and maybe we
Yeah.
can bump heads if it lines up.
We'll definitely do that. There's a whole crew that we'll have to like get together and just
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll be peaceful protesters, but we'll do it. We'll do it classy.
Absolutely, girl. I'll talk to you soon. All right.
All right. God bless you. Good night.
Peace. Good night. You're live with J.F.K. Oh, I missed you. Hold on. I think I got
Tiffany.
You're live with J.F.K. and Kevy Kev 781.
Hey, J.F.K., what's up?
What's happening? Who's this?
This is Tiffany from Peabody. Remember me, you
Tiffany
and
from
James?
Peabody. What's up, Tiffany?
I got the alleys going on. No.
Yeah. What's
But,
happening, girl?
No, I'm listening to your show, right? Mm-hmm. This time around, I'm scared. It's a weird feeling. Like last time, I thought she was getting off. And now seeing what like Hank Brennan's doing, he's such a liar and a sneak.
Right.
I'm getting like really, really scared.
Well, I'll just say this, just to jump in. I don't want to step on your phone call, but I'll just say this before we go any further. The trial has not started yet. These witnesses have to be at their best, and they're not gonna be. They've been holding this shit. We got a team that's gonna eat them up, and it's gonna show. Unless they do that, and so it's believe me. Right now, it feels that way because basically this documentary came out and it just left its. I mean, I think the documentary just left a sour taste in everybody's mouth. The timing was off. Everything was off with it, and right before the trial, it was weird. But I truly believe they can't renege what they said. It's all transcribed. So what are they going to say?
Exactly. But last trial, right? I felt like people were, I really felt strong about the third person, like those McAlberts. There's too much shady shit. But I wasn't on board with like Auntie Bev was corrupt. This time around, seeing all the motions, I'm really feeling in my heart that she's corrupt. And then I get these feelings.
I feel that she thinks that Karen did it. That's what she thinks.
Exactly. And they shouldn't. But I honestly feel in my heart that the jury's not going to like Hanky Spanky. He just gives off this vibe, like, and all I'm hoping for.
Seaside, we got Seaside. Seaside is up in the chat. Seaside, what up, Seaside? How we doing, Seaside? Long time no hear, my brother. How we feeling? Hope all is well with you. I got polos in the bag, but they're all legal.
And I'm in the dressing room in Kohl's, and I'm down Filey's Basic getting the suits.
She's grabbing the suits. Seaside. Don't worry about it. Seaside's cool people. Oh man.
But all I'm thinking of, right, and this is crazy jumping like forward. And I don't know if it's because I grew up in the city.
Yeah.
But I hope when they say not guilty, that Karen Reed walks out of there with her head held high. It comes on your show because of the waterfall, and says, fuck you, Canoni, fuck you, Brennan. And that would make my, like, is something funny now, Canoni? Right. Not that it would ever happen. But I never believed the 34th Fairmont, what went on Fairview Ave. Your video better be used in that trial. It better be.
Yeah, well, they're gonna. I mean, they're on it. They're on it. I mean, we got to trust the team. Like I always say, we're in the casino. That we're all at the roulette table, and everybody's stacked up on 17. And we all got to stay. We all got to just add to the tower. And if it goes down, if we hit 17, we all win. If we don't hit, we all lose. So we're all chasing the same thing, and that's the.
But you and James are like the realest people on YouTube.
That's
like
awesome.
Everyone's different.
What about Kevy Kev?
Oh, sometimes he falls asleep on me. I think he's amazing. Sometimes I'm like, Kevy Kev, wake up. What are you doing, babe?
I'm here. I'm
I
here.
gotta
I'm
tell
with
you
you.
one little secret.
Kevy Kev said
I got a 14-year-old. I got a 14-year-old daughter. I can't let her watch a show when James Jackson is on. She said the other night, Mom, that boy is easy on my eyes.
Oh
I
man.
said, Rainey, he's 40-something, Mom. It's okay. It doesn't matter what age he is. He is easy on the eyes.
Oh wow. That's cool. Hey, you know.
But no, you guys are the most amazing, down to earth, good, honest, kind. And I said this to you before. But I'm just like really nervous this time. I'm really afraid. And I'm usually not like that. I just think there's so much crap going on. It's crooked.
Mm-hmm.
Like even watching like Tom CPU and Scott McGinnis. Last year there was never an arrest.
Right.
Those people, boots on the ground, never did nothing.
Nope.
It's almost like the arrogance, like that hot, whatever that guy's name is, that went up to Tom and Scott McGinnis and pulled the guy. They're looking to arrest someone. It's like I just hope they keep their cool.
Let me tell you something. Hold on a second. Seaside. I'm sorry, sweetie. Seaside, Tiffany.
No
right?
problem.
Right? Seaside.
Tiffany.
Seaside. Yeah, Tiffany. My bad, Tiffany. I'll remember that forever now. Okay, I got that
He's
right.
from Cambridge, right?
Oh yeah, he's a Cambridge boy. And let me
Oh,
tell you
tell him
something.
I dated a guy in Cambridge. Tell him I dated a guy in Cambridge for 20 years.
20 years. Did he do 20
Ask
years,
him
kid?
if he knows. Ask him if he knows Bilo.
You know Bilo? Seaside? He probably knows Bilo, man. He's a well-respected man. He's a good dude too, man. He's a good guy.
He graduated Cambridge Virgin Latin '81. He was a football player there.
Listen, I just want to say, Seaside just said, it's unbelievable. The truth will never come out. The Commonwealth is corrupt all around. Is he from the coast?
Exactly.
Is he from the coast? He asked. Seaside asked.
No, he's down by Riverside.
He's down by
Pub.
Riverside Pub.
How old Seaside?
I think like Seaside's like 51, 52 or something like that.
Yeah, he's 60.
Oh, he's older than
Below
Seaside.
60. Yeah. Does he know Rudy?
I don't know. Probably. I mean, he knows everybody. I can assure you that Seaside.
Yeah.
I can assure you, Seaside
Ask
knows
him
a
if he
lot of
knows.
people.
Ask him if he knows the basketball players Dip and Dace.
What's his name?
Dip and Dace.
Dip and Dace?
Everyone knows them in Cambridge. They were like the best. They played with Ewing at Cambridge Virgin Latin.
He said yes, coast, not port.
Oh, so no, not the port. Down by Riverside Pub.
The Riverside Pub, kid. Is that even still there? The Riverside Pub?
Oh, yeah, that's still open. Ken's Pub, all those other ones are closed.
Wow.
I wonder if I know Seaside. I wonder what his name is.
Well, we can't disclose that.
No, it's okay. But anyway, I watched James Jackson tonight with Auntie Deb. It was amazing. He's such a good guy. James is like all heart. You can tell he's been through so much. But he has the kindest heart. And he's just like a good soul.
Definitely.
Right.
So what's going to happen, J.F.K? Tell me, because I'm really like, I shouldn't be invested like this, but I'm scared. If they ever say guilty, I don't think I'll leave my house for a month.
Well,
that's not healthy.
No, it's not healthy, but I'll tell you right now, I definitely leave your house. You know.
No, I know, but I'd like to take Auntie Bev in the backyard, right? You say, take your fucking black cape on.
Wow.
It's not your robe, because you're a fucking witch, and let me knock you out.
Right. Well, listen, Tiffany, let me jump to this next phone call, and I'm going to talk about it. I appreciate you calling, sweetie, all right?
Bye, Kev.
Thank you so
Have
much,
a good
Tiffany.
night. Thank you.
Peace and love.
You have a good night.
All right. Love you. Bye. All right. Who we got? Hello? You're live with J.F.K. Hello? Wow. I don't know what's going on. Nothing but love. Nothing but love. Nothing but love, Tiffany. And you got to keep your head up. If she gets found guilty, right? If she gets found guilty, she's never coming. Live with J.F.K. Kebby Keb 781. Who's this?
It's LG.
Who's this?
LG, one of the chatters.
Oh, what's
from
up, LG?
Florida.
Damn, LG, you calling on a nice microphone, huh? What you calling in on, bro? You clear as hell.
One new phrase for the new trial.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I'm getting feedback.
Nah, you're not getting no feedback. You sound clear to me.
Yeah, one new phrase is MACFA, make Karen free again.
MACFA. I like that.
Got it right.
Yeah. So how we feeling? How you feeling right now about the trial?
I'm a little concerned, like the previous caller.
Mm-hmm.
I'm feeling neutral. I think her documentary sort of affected me in a negative way, like some of the comments you made in the past. I still believe she's innocent, but she should have treated the right to remain silent as sanctimonial. But I know she wanted to show she has a personality. She's going through a lot, and she wants to show the Commonwealth she's fearless. And by showing she's fearless, I think she's trying to communicate, look, I am innocent. I believe this 100% is what she's doing. But I do wish she would have left all the speaking to her law team.
What else you got?
Do you, has she communicated in any way at all about a new color for her supporters to wear?
Use what? Can you hear me?
Yeah. I don't know. I think this connection may be bad. Has she communicated at all about what color her supporters should wear at the trial?
I think it's pink still, right?
I believe so.
Yeah. Kevy Kev said he believes so.
Okay. I was just curious if they were going with the same color.
Oh, it's a new color. Hold on a second. It's still pink.
You know, this whole trial reminds me of the movie The Departed.
My cousin. I was on the movie set of The Departed, believe it or not.
You were on that Departed?
Yeah, I was on the movie set. I knew a couple of people in that movie.
Wow, that movie was good. This whole thing reminds me of.
Yeah. It was
and
wild.
Even the Supreme Court of Massachusetts is wrong. They were against her. She should not be going through double jeopardy, but she is.
I mean, and that's what I'm saying. Like, we just totally forget about that. You know what I mean? Like, that's another thing. Like, that's a whole other fucking conversation. Part of my language.
And that's further up the chain.
You know, like it should be manslaughter right now. Period. Like you said.
Exactly. Yeah, it's all the way to the top. I will never spend another dime in that state. I will never set foot in that state.
No?
Ever.
You calling from Florida? What part of Florida, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm from Central Florida, north of I'm in Lake County, near Orlando.
How's the weather right now? Nice, right?
Weather today was 90 degrees.
Yeah, I'm right here. I'm right here with you. I'm right down the block. I'm in Georgia. Not too far from you, buddy. I'm about 6 hours away from you. Very nice. Nice out right now, matter of fact. It's like it's probably like 75 out right now. Beautiful. I love it.
Yeah, this is you should drive through Central Florida just to see the difference in Lake County. You wouldn't think you were in Florida.
They got gators out there though in that area.
Oh, sure. There's gators everywhere. In
Yeah, I don't fuck with them gators, man. I don't like them gators, man. I think that's the
You don't
devil.
want to mess with them.
See, my luck, I'd get bit by a gator. I
Fuck
ain't, and I got kids, man, and I just don't want my I don't know, man. I just don't can't trust a reptile, man. I just don't like them things.
Yeah.
I can't even believe that they walk around the way they walk around. Like it's like dinosaurs walking around. It's wild.
Oh, yeah. They're prehistoric.
Right. They really are. Now they got crocodiles out there, American crocodiles in the ocean.
There are some of those in southern Florida that have migrated or been brought in, yeah.
God damn, man. God bless you.
Oh, they're saltwater. They're in saltwater habitat too, or brinish water. You know, it could be a mix.
Yeah, man, that's wild, man.
I am actually just over the hill from Lake Apopka. It's about 10 miles long, 8 miles wide. It's full of giant gators that are 12 feet long.
God damn.
I mean, they probably weigh 1,000 pounds.
Well, you know what we got over here now, though. I mean, they're over where you're at, though, too. They move up that way. They're probably starting to next month. They'll start moving their way down. We got the great whites out here, man, in Cape Cod.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
deep. We got they're moving. They actually
Oh, yes.
they have a nursery in Long Island. So they stop. They go up to they go up to North Carolina, Jacksonville, all the way up to where you're at, into Miami, the whole shit. And they stop in Long Island, New York. That's where they say the nurseries happen. That's where they're mating. And then they come right into Cape Cod, and then they go all the way. They go all the way into what do you call it? They go all the way.
I've seen some videos of that.
They go all the way to Canada, up into Maine, all that.
Yeah.
It's wild. Well, listen, my man, you want to wrap this up? You got anything to say to people in the chat, man? Give them something to say. Say something to the people.
I say, all along, gamers, hang in there. Free care and read.
My man, I appreciate your time, brother. Thank you, brother. Awesome phone call. Awesome phone call. Hold on one second, Kev. I got to start this camera over.
Yeah.
From Trenda.
Who do we have?
J.F.K.
Kev.
I just want to say I deep dove into you and James today.
Uh-huh.
I'm a nurse. Started watching the trial because of that. Realized those are not from a motor vehicle accident. But you are one cool dude. I just wanted you to know that.
Really? Thank you. Appreciate
Yes.
That's a great
you're
compliment.
talented, so talented.
Thank you.
But yeah, I didn't think you would answer. I'm kind of shaking now. But yeah, I just wanted you to know that.
Where you calling from?
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, OKC. Nice.
Nah, about 3 hours away from OKC.
Wow, that's awesome. And I appreciate it. So you've been watching the channel. Do you watch James Jackson's channel over there in the layover? He's been doing some stuff.
Yeah, I did today. Well, I was watching Auntie Bev. He was on with Auntie Bev.
Oh yeah. He did Auntie Bev's over there. He did something over there with her today. I didn't see it. I didn't even see it.
Yeah, you need to watch it. It's pretty funny.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But I always watch you and him. I just don't comment because I don't catch y'all on the live.
Oh wow. Well, I'm
But
glad
I
you're
did
here.
tonight.
You're here now, girl.
Welcome. I know, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, you answered!" So I'm like shaking. Sorry.
Wow, that's so great. You don't have to
Do
shake,
not
girl.
make fun of my accident
Nah.
or my accent.
Your accent. Don't worry about it, girl. You're on the plane, man. You know, we're all on the same flight trying to get to the destination, girl. You're welcome, you know?
That's right. Well, I appreciate it.
Absolutely, girl. What you say your name was again?
Trenda.
Trenda. And what's your name in the chat so we know?
It's Trenda.
Oh, it's Trenda? All right, cool. I got you.
Trenda K.
Trenda K.
I was on earlier, and then I jumped back on, and you were taking calls. I was like, I'm going to call.
Absolutely. Call back anytime, girl. All right? We're here.
All right. Y'all have a good night.
All right, you too, girl. Peace.
Good night.
Bye.
Wonderful phone call. Wonderful phone calls. We're getting some good phone calls tonight. Nice and smooth. Nice phone calls. Good flight. And people are scared. And this is why I brought up Thomas Daly. Thank you for the $9.99, Tom. I appreciate you always holding your boy down, man. I thank you so much. Peace signs up for my man, Tom Daly. Thomas Daly been around from day one. He's been holding down my man, J.F.K. Good guy. Peace signs up for Tom Daly. Thank you, Tom.
You know, with the callers that have been calling in, you know.
CZ.
Uh-oh, we got Cece. Hey, Cece, can you hold 1 second, sweetie?
Hello?
Cece, can you hold
Sure
on 1
can.
second? Go ahead.
Sure can.
Yeah, thank you. Go ahead, Kev. What were you saying?
Like with the callers calling in, I get it. They got they're feeling some type of way, and it, Judge Bev, man, she's tough. I mean, I don't get half the stuff how she comes at the defense, and she just makes she I mean, earlier in the month, couple months ago, she ruled on a new ruling, that Rule 14 or whatever. That's brand new. That's 2025 implemented. You know what I'm saying? Like, she is like high ranked in that judicial system over there. She holds a high ranking title amongst all those local judges.
One thing I could say is, at the end of the day, this whole shit show is not going to age well. Cece, you're on with J.F.K. Kev 781. What's good, girl?
What's good with you? You're looking good and you're sounding good.
Thank
A
you
whole
so
lot
much.
better than you were the last time I was able to get through.
Absolutely.
I was worried about you when you were sick.
I appreciate you. Appreciate you, girl. What you want to talk about? How we feeling? How we feeling first and foremost? How you doing?
Well, I think you know how I've been feeling about this whole thing ever since Hank came on, and that call from you wrong, But
yeah, you're right. You've been right about that. You've been on point with it since day one.
I'm concerned. I've tried emailing different people. Hank's got his neurosurgeon in, okay? He's not calling the ME. He has Dr. Stonebridge on his list, but the defense doesn't have her on their list. And I'm worried if he doesn't call her, because he's going to get this neurosurgeon to say that John fell back and hit his head on frozen ground, and that's to cause all that horrific brain damage to him. And I sent you an email with a couple of clips, sound clips Hank won't use, I'm sure. But, I heard that they did send up, this appeal thing. Evidently, I forget the term, but it's some kind of legal term, and it's 2 questions you get to send to the Supreme Court. And I don't know if you've seen that, those new people, Dr. Biden's wife, Justice Serge, they said on their show tonight. They said on their show tonight that the defense has sent two of those, whatever they call them. It's like 2 questions you send to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court decides whether they're going to take it.
Right.
So I did hear that tonight. But how about you weren't the only one talking about this? What is his name? Portnoy or whatever?
Oh, Dave Portnoy. Yeah, Portnoy.
Yeah. Lawyer, talked about him. He's a big sports guy, so he listens to him. And he heard him talking about Kevin Reed, so he talked about it today.
Oh, did he?
But, yeah, and when he was talking about it, that guy didn't say who the young man was, but all that came to my brain was Tristan.
It's 100% Tristan.
Yeah, and so it was so funny when you asked a while ago. I sent you an email with a link to the brick watch, but anyway,
Let me check that
yeah,
out.
the excuse me.
All right, it's okay.
I just started cracking up because it's an actual watch, and if you remember Tristan's testimony, he didn't want to talk time. He don't know time, but he wants a watch.
That's crazy. That's wild.
I cracked up. That's too wild. That is just like, oh my gosh. And Andy Deb, when James was on there this evening, I don't know if you've seen any of his shows lately, but he keeps playing that video of Tristan doing that dance in the bar over and over.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
That's wild, man. That video's wild, huh?
Yeah, it's wild. The guy's getting down, man. And it's funny. But that and thinking about him worrying about getting a brick watch when the guy wouldn't answer a single question about time. He don't know time.
No, you don't.
He don't know time. And I saw that clip a long time ago where he jumped on Turtle Boy. And it was at some park or something, you know, when he started
it was in South Boston, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know where it's at. But, and talking about alligators, I used to ski right by them on the bayou in Louisiana. You walk skiing and you see them and you think it's a log, and then you get right by it and you say, no, that's not a log, that's an alligator. And you just keep going. They don't bother you.
Yeah,
you know,
I ain't fucking with
they
them
don't
gators.
bother.
See, I know you.
They don't bother.
I know you from New Orleans. With all, you know, you from the South, man. You right there by Texas and all that. Listen, man. Listen, you need
Texas
to
is
calm down.
north. Texas
Well, how
is
far?
north.
How far is it though? Texas ain't far though. It ain't that far.
Oh,
Louisiana?
it's west. Yeah, it's
How far
straight
is it?
west. The lower
How far is
part
it?
of
Like
Texas.
what? 3 hours? 4 hours?
I never really drove it, but you know,
How
when
far
I
is
first
Houston?
started,
How far is Houston from Louisiana?
I used to fly it on Southwest in an hour, so I don't know how long
Yeah, so that'd be
driving.
like 4 hours.
You know, I never drove it. I mean, I've drove from Arkansas back down to New Orleans, but not from, you know, Texas. I may have drove across that Sunrise Bridge or whatever that is going in Houston. I had moved to Houston for a little bit, and my husband, I met him in New Orleans, and then we moved to Dallas. And I couldn't stand Dallas, Texas. People there, I mean, I don't know, they just think they're so much better than everybody.
Right.
And, you know, but it might have something to do with it. I'm a Saints fan and don't like the Cowboys anyway. But no, I just found it unfriendly, you know, not that friendly of a city. And where I'm at in Arkansas is not that friendly either, you know, but not like New Orleans. And I think most of you people, from what I've been seeing on TV, on YouTube, I like you people in Boston. I really do. And I'm sad that this is happening and all this stuff that's been happening. That's horrific. I mean, back way in the day with Governor Edwards in Louisiana, you know, when the mob was big and everything, I mean, as crooked as can be. But, you know, this is horrific. And, you know, I thought women's lib happened back in the 70s.
So let me just, I'm sorry, CC. You can't see me because my camera went out again because my StreamYard's acting up. But I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. But I'm reading right now the brick watch thing you sent me. This dude's selling these watches for $2,300. These brick watches.
Whoa! I didn't look at the price.
What's going on with Dave Portnoy's watch brand? He calls it brick watches. So now, you know, now that kind of puts more percent. He's about to send him a $2,300 watch to Tristan. Damn, Portnoy.
Dude, that's for an interview.
It's an ugly watch. It's not like a Rolex, man.
But still, that's wild, man.
That's payment. That's payment on an interview.
I thought it was. I don't like the looks of it.
Yeah,
I mean,
Tom
it's got
Brady
a
has one that's like custom and it's $750K. Damn, man. So I got to look more into this watch shit, man. This is wild.
Who in the world is this guy? Anyway, I never heard of
He's
it.
He's a guy who just flipped his media company. It started out as a page, Barstool, like a web page, like a paper, like a newspaper in Boston. Then he took it to the internet, and then he made it a media company, and then he flipped it and sold it, and it ended up. He was before his time. He just got in when he ended up selling it for like $300 million. And then he bought it back at a price, and like he's just got a lot of money. That's who he is, and he runs.
Man, he's a young guy.
Yeah, he's like my age. He's like my age. He's like 47, 48.
Yeah, well, you've done a lot in your young life too.
Absolutely.
See, when at first I thought it was that guy Dave. That was Nurse Kim's friend, Dave. I thought his last name started with a C. And they talked about him on that show. They said something about him eating lunch with Garen, which he did that other day. Not Dave Portnoy, but what's his name? It starts with a C. I don't know. But I thought that's who you were talking about on the previous shows when you first started talking about This
Yeah,
dude,
she had dealing with a couple of people from like the radios out here, like the sports radio. That, like I said, a
well,
lot of these sports radios, man, they you know they're on in the afternoons out there, and they get a good draw just talking sports radio. So now they're just throwing in the Karen Reed story too. They sprinkle it in now. You know, it's
yeah,
crazy.
well, Laurie, is down in Florida, but evidently he listens to that show
Yeah,
because he freaked out when he
Dave
heard it
Callahan.
today.
Dave
Yeah,
Callahan.
Callahan. That's who it is. I think he goes on that Barstool Sports or something because that name sounded familiar when you had said that on your other show.
Yeah, I think
And,
Kirk is his brother or something. Is Kirk his brother, Kirk Callahan?
Oh no, I think it's Dave
Because
Callahan.
Kirk was on there with him. Guy Kirk, the guy with the bald head over there.
The one that, the one that knew something about the Birchmore case, but didn't want to talk about him.
His name's Kirk.
And that's his brother, maybe Dave's brother. I don't know.
I think so. So I think they got the same last name, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know. There was a couple of shows. A couple of shows
Oh no,
ago.
no. So one's Callahan and the other one's Minahan.
Okay, I don't know.
Isn't that crazy? Kirk Minahan and the other one's Callahan.
There's so many people on now, and there's a new person. Anyway, I sent you the other one. I sent some video clips, and I took time. I know you're a videographer or whatever. I've always done photography and videos, and like for my kids' band and all that stuff. And I would take pictures and I would do videos. Right. And I had a good program on my old computer my son built me, but it went kaput. And now my kids had bought me this little B-Link thing. It don't even look like a computer. But anyway, I don't have the good program where I can combine videos, and it used to let you downsize it to like email size if you wanted to. But I took Dr. Stonebridge's testimony and I captured it without Lally, without his slow ass voice and stupid questions. And it's like listening to a lecture as she goes through the injuries she found on Officer John O'Keefe's brain. And she's a 4-time board certified pathologist. The ME is not a neuropathologist, so that's why she sent the brain to her to figure out what happened when she opened up and saw the damage. Right. And not enough creators have talked about it. There's Kim did. She did a show on it after I emailed her about it. But this is, to me, it's the facts. It's KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. It's the facts, okay? Right. Karen Reed says, I had a crack in my taillight and John was pulverized. The officer from Dighton said she had a crack in the taillight, but it wasn't totally damaged.
Yeah, exactly.
Dr. Stonebridge talks about the brain damage. And then the ME also talked about he bit his tongue. Now, that happened from just falling back and hitting his head on a frozen ground. Don't think so. Right. And all the damage I've discussed with you before. So, and the ARC experts and Dr. Russell, it's dog bites. It's not taillight bites on his arm. That's it.
Right.
All this other stuff. And when you were talking to Josie Lou the other night, and it was like deja vu because I think a long time ago, had the timeline of Jennifer McCabe's phone calls and text messages up. And I mentioned, because there was a text, she sent 5 texts, but 1 phone call. And the 1 phone call was 8 seconds long at 12:29.
Right.
And you know what I don't know if they can find out is when did she play that song, It's Raining Men? Because I wonder if she had called John, but didn't know John was downstairs getting his ass kicked. And somebody picked up the phone and said, don't call this phone no more. And worried about getting it out of the house. And then she started texting all those texts all the way up to 12:45. And see, Lally, when he did his opening statement, he said that John got hit at 12:45. By his closing statement, he changed it to 12:30 because his timeline was all off. Right. They don't have any evidence. They're making it up as they go along to try to put this woman in jail for something she did not do.
Right. Well, listen, CC.
Let me tell you what. I went into
Go ahead.
watching this trial. I knew nothing, and I just watched it, and it was those few things. The waterfall. I didn't see anything in the waterfall because all they were doing was grabbing each other's butts. Your waterfall, definitely, they should have showed that, and they didn't. And I hope they show it this time.
They will, CC. They will, girl. They
hope
will.
And,
So let me just. So you got in closing. You got something you want to say to the chat?
Have faith, chat. This is some awesome attorneys, and they ain't gonna let Hank get by with all his lies and his sneaks and now I think Beverly Cleone, who knows? She's a woman judge.
Yes.
Morrissey is running this show. You know, she took a little break and come back all shaken and all upset about grave concerns. Morrissey is running this. And you can be a woman in a man's world doing a man's type job that used to be men's jobs years ago. But the women have come a long way. Okay, I'm a 70-year-old woman. I am proud of all these young women that I see. And there's a new one. She's a psychologist. And her show is called I Don't Belong Here, but somebody's got to do something. And guess what? She did a clip all about your waterfall, all about the part about Higgins and Coast and John. Come on, like trying to pick a fight. And I stayed up all night watching every one of her little videos. She's not getting much traffic. I don't think people even know she has the show on, but she's doing like a video and then putting them up.
What's her
and
name?
She's good. The name of it is I Don't Belong Here. And that's how I feel. I have been struggling, and I was like wanting to call you and going, how can I send you some videos? I've been working on videos, and it's like, I don't want to join YouTube. I don't want to have a YouTube channel. I don't belong on YouTube because I don't know how to do all that stuff. If my sons were here and could give me instructions, I probably could. But one's in Sweden and one's in North Carolina. So they're not here. And I just, I'm so frustrated because everybody's going over the nitpicky stuff that don't matter. What matters is John was not hit by a car. The damage to his brain is not from hitting his elbow and getting it bit by a taillight and then hitting the back of his head when he fell backwards just from his height. Maybe if he fell from a 3-story building, that damage might have been done to his head. But, people just got to have hope that the defense is going to bring this stuff out. And Alessi is awesome. And he's going to take care of the experts. And hopefully he's going to, make the other the experts Hank's bringing on look like Trooper Paul. That's all I can hope for.
Well, listen, CC, I appreciate the call, and I appreciate all your insight. And we'll talk again soon, all right?
You take care and stay healthy.
You too, girl. All right,
All
we'll
right.
talk soon. Peace.
Nothing but love. Bye-bye.
Nothing but love. CC, ladies and gentlemen, she was on her. I just got to fix this camera real quick, man. Excuse me. I'm all froze up.
That was a great call,
Call from
Norman Corey.
Hello.
J.F.K. How's it going, brother?
This is Kevy Kev.
You hear me? I love your show. I've been watching it since you started it. It's great. I'm calling to try to explain to some people that don't understand. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. That stupid text stream data crap.
Yeah, go ahead, man. Explain that shit.
Yeah, I've been working. I'm 55 years old. Grew up in Dorchester.
Let me ask you this: you grew up in Dorchester?
Yeah, grew up with Donnie Carroll and his sister, Donkey.
So you know Ralph Zammit?
I do.
That's my cousin.
No shit.
Yeah, Ralph's my cousin.
Rachel, his sister.
Rachel, that's my cousin.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
Rachel.
Great.
Yeah.
Anyway, they all know me. You can ask anybody in Dorchester. I've been working
What's
on
your
cars
name?
my whole life. My name's Norman Corey.
Oh, Norman Cole. So do you know Johnny? You know I'm the White Devil? Johnny
Johnny
Gillis? What's his name? Johnny Gillis? Is it Johnny Gillis? He's up. The feds got him. He spoke Chinese. He was in the China. He's a little younger than you.
Yeah, the name sounds very familiar, but no, I can't say it. No.
But my cousin didn't know him either growing up because my cousin's friends with Maki because they all grew up together. That's how I know Maki from my cousin. And
yeah.
But anyway, yeah, Johnny. I met Johnny. You know the Briz?
No.
You don't know the Briz? All right, go ahead, man. So what's your name? What's your first name?
My name is Norman.
Norman, go ahead. Break it down, bro.
All right, so the tech stream data, the what people call the black box, that's a system that's put inside of an automobile. So if someone brings a car back to the dealer, so the check engine light came on, or the car sped up by themselves, or the ABS is locking up by itself, so they know what the real deal is. So on key cycle, I think it was 1162. I could be incorrect, but I believe it was 1162. Mr. Tow Truck Driver there on video puts that car forward. He shoots forward. You got to watch the video at the Reed's house to watch this. You got to slow it down. You see the front wheels are spinning. As you know, back in the day when we used to rip the tires off, the speedometer moves. When the speedometer moves, it calculates movement of the car, mileage. You know what I'm saying?
Keep going.
So, including in reverse. So when you're spinning the wheels, it thinks you're moving, and it calculates the speed. This guy, as you know, when you get stuck in the snow, what do? We rock the steering wheel back and forth and try to saw us through. You can see him doing it in the video. He whips it in reverse. He stomps on it, spins the wheels. When it catches,
hold on a minute.
Jerks a
Hold on, bro. You breaking shit down too much, man. See, ain't nobody ever broke it down like that. No one broke it down like that, man.
Yeah, no problem.
Sorry, people. Keep acting up. My StreamYard. Nobody ever broke it down like that. So you're saying so just to be clear, you're saying he was stuck in the snow and he pulled out back.
Stuck in the snow.
I seen him in the driveway. That was in Dayton, right?
Yeah,
he was stuck and he was going back and forth to saw through the snow, and the front tires were spinning.
Yeah, so I believe the rear ones were too.
Yeah, because it's all-wheel drive. That Lexus.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, that's all-wheel drive.
So
that Lexus.
as you know, when you get caught in the snow and you're stuck, you kind of, especially in your reverse, you jerk the wheel back and forth to let the wheel kind of saw through the snow.
Yeah.
And then when it catches, you feel it in the steering wheel. The car slides backwards. He cuts the wheel to the right, which turns if you're looking at the vehicle, turns the ass of the vehicle to the left.
Yep.
He throws it in forward, and he drives up the damn flatbed. Now, the whole time the wheels are spinning. That's as if the vehicle is moving. So, Mr. Dayton, I don't know if it was a cop that drove it up there or not, or the tow truck driver. So that was key cycle 1162. He shuts the vehicle off. Somebody, probably Bukaki, starts it up, drives it off the flatbed. As you know from the waterfall, from the Sallyport video, they probably backed it in first and said, let's clean the snow off of it, and said, oh shit, the right tail light's exposed. So let's pull back out. We saw the pile of snow on the ground. They turn the thing around. So we're looking at the left rail tail light, but the camera's backwards. And they already knew that. They didn't flip that video. What they did was they cropped it and they changed the time on it. That's why one video, the time's yellow, and the one that was in court during the trial was blue. Because they knew they were fucked from the time Proctor took that vehicle, because he lied about the time. So anyway, then you see a bunch of idiots mopping up the snow around the vehicle. That was snow that actually came from Karen's house. And if you look at the Sallyport video where it's going down the driveway, if you put it in slow motion and maybe lighten up your screen a little bit, you'll see all the snow on it. But same amount of snow is not on it when it pulls into the garage.
Right.
Okay? So then they shut the vehicle off. Now, Trooper Idiot Paul starts it up 2 days later, What key cycle is that? See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The tow truck driver started it, kicked the shit out of it, got it up on the truck. That triggered the computer. It triggered it twice. When he went forward, it triggered it. And when he threw it in reverse, it triggered it because he went 3/4 throttle to get out of the snow.
Yeah, he did. And he doesn't. And he doesn't know the truck. So like he could have gunned it. Like yeah, he could have gunned it and gave it more. You know what I mean? Because that's not his truck. You're right. I never thought of that.
The fact that you don't have all those extra key cycles, and I'll get to that in a second. So he drives the thing up, he shuts it off. Some Bukaki, whoever, starts it up, drives it off the truck, pulls it in. So that's one key cycle from the time that the tow truck driver triggered it. So that's one. So he went from 11:62, which is when he beat the shit out of it. Then 11:63 is when the tow truck driver drove it off. And then Trooper Paul, 11:64, plugs into the computer. And he drove it like an asshole purposely to trigger it. But that was part of his test. So when you go back and you think about it, if Karen will say, which we all know she didn't, if she was to hit John and at 60 miles an hour backwards and all that other crap, or 60 feet forward and triggered the computer, she went home. She shut the vehicle off. So we'll say that it's at 11:62. She triggered it, right? Just for argument's sake.
Right.
She gets up at 5 a.m. She starts it up. That's 11:63. She drives to Jen McCabe's or Kerry Roberts' house. I don't know whose. She shuts it off. They go in the house. She's on camera walking around the vehicle. So that's 11:64. She comes out. She starts it. She drives back to John's house and leaves it there. Then somebody starts the vehicle at John's house. They move it because they clean the snow out of the driveway. And I don't know if they shut it off, but Dad takes it. So you have a minimum of 3 extra key ignition cycles. There's an ignition cycle and there's a key cycle. Key cycle is when you push the button in, but you don't start it. You don't put your foot on the brake. Ignition cycle is when you put your foot on the brake, you hit the push button and it starts and it's running for more than 2 seconds. So it's impossible, regardless of what anybody says, it's impossible for a computer not to register a key cycle. Like Paul said, oh, I don't know, it's just a key. It didn't, for some reason, it didn't read the ignition cycle. That's impossible. If the vehicle was started, it read it. So you only have one key cycle from the time the wheels were spinning and from the time Trooper Paul got to it, which makes no sense because we know that Karen left at 5 a.m. We know that she went to somebody's house, shut it off. I think it was Matt McCabe's house. Shut it off. They went in the house and he came up with a story saying, you know, you shouldn't be driving in the snow. What kind of man lets his wife leave in the snow blizzard? Pussy.
Yeah.
But then she starts it up again, drives it to her house, and then someone starts it, John's house, someone starts it up, they move it to clean the driveway. Whether they shut it off, I don't know. But Dad took the car to Dighton.
Yep.
Then it got stuck in the snow, and the cops started it up, kicked the shit out of it. So that was that. Karen minimum started it 3 times. So the key cycles, when Alan mentioned.
When are they saying? When are they saying the event happened? When are they saying the key cycle for the event happened? What number key cycle was that? Do you remember?
They're saying 11:62, which is correct, but it was the tow truck driver. That's why the original story was she did a 3-point turn, but then they couldn't figure out how the fuck she do a 3-point turn. She was going the wrong way. She couldn't have made it to the house. So they just said, oh, well, it wasn't a 3-point turn. Yeah, it was. It was in the driveway and it's on video. And they have to hammer that home. They have to hammer that home. There's only one key cycle. Alan brought it up to Trooper Paul, and he came up with some bullshit story that, oh, it just didn't register key cycle or ignition cycle. That's not true. That'll never happen. And it never happened. Never, ever, ever happen. And then Hank gets up during one of his things a couple of weeks ago and says, we have the text stream data that tells us time and location. That is a lie. The text stream data never tells you a time, and it doesn't tell you the location. It only tells you what key, ignition key, a cycle it was that you created the fault. Whether it be, if you go back to Karen's data from the time she bought the vehicle, she had it at the dealer because she had an EVAP problem, which is probably she drove away from the gas station with the fucking cap off. And it tripped a trigger. Those are the only triggers that her car, and it might have had a recall or something. Those are the only triggers that were ever tripped. And for all those assholes that say, well, she fucking drove 90 miles an hour in a snowstorm in 4 minutes to a house, there would have been more triggers. Every time she left a red light or a corner, stomping on the gas because she was in a hurry, she would have spun the wheels. That would have tripped the computer. Anytime she jammed on the brake in the snow, and you know what happens in the snow when you jam on the brake.
Slide, ABS kicks in, starts sliding.
That trips the trigger. When you jam on the brake hard enough to trip the ABS, it trips the computer.
Oh, and it does automatically. Once it senses.
Absolutely.
That traction control kicks in.
That's so someone can say, I hit the brake and the car didn't stop and I hit somebody, and they can go in there, like the state police, if they know how to read the data, and go, actually, yeah, the person did hit the brake, the ABS kicked in, but they didn't stop. Or, no, the person never hit the brake, there's no triggers. See what I'm saying?
I do. I love it, man. I love it. And you know what? Every phone call that we got prior to this, always been everybody stressing. And here you are. Like we all have our wheelhouse, right? I talked to waterfall. Now you're bringing this up. This is another thing that totally breaks down that, because it's right there in front of you, like you said. Now that's the thing we all worry about, right? Like we have the data that the car spun out and went backwards. You're right, we do. Now that I never thought of that.
You know, can I bring up something?
Go ahead, Kevy. Give me 1 second, Norman. Kev's gonna say something. Go ahead.
Yeah.
You can't hear him. Sorry, Norman, but he's gonna say something. I'll relay it to you. Go ahead, Kev.
You know, I remember hearing something about, you know, when they loaded that truck, her truck up on the ramp truck.
Yeah.
Her truck was stuck in the snow.
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
You know, and they hit that tow truck driver, he backed
that's
that
what he's
truck
saying.
up.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. He's saying that that's the key cycle, and that's the event they're talking about.
Exactly.
Going backwards, spinning the tires,
That's
and the
the
whole
three
shit.
key cycles. It was like starting the car, the reverse, the 60,
Did they say that at trial, Norman?
Yeah.
No.
They never said that about. They never
said
about the tow truck.
They
never said that was it.
They never said that the tow truck driver
And they
triggered the vehicle.
They never spoke about that though, right? Like they never spoke about the what is it called?
They were more concerned. They were more concerned with the light, the tail light.
This is it,
going
bro.
up on
this
that.
is huge.
And that's another video that's been altered.
So Norman, let me do this. You want? What do you want? Are you in the chat under a name?
Yeah, my name is Norman Corey. I use my real name. I don't fuck around. I want people.
Norman,
if I say something people don't like, I want them to know who I am.
I love it. Norman. So listen. My email's J.F.K.Showoff, right? Like my channel at Gmail, right?
Okay.
If you're down, right, hit me up. Let's coordinate on a show, and I'll just give you a link. You don't have to show your face if you don't want. Like I'm doing right now. I don't have my face on there right now. You could just put your, and that way we're not on the phone call, and we could go through this. I could pull up the video, and we could go through it. We could do a whole show on it. If you're down, if you're,
absolutely. When I first heard about this case, I didn't know anything about dogs. I didn't know that he had been attacked by a dog. And I'm like, this, I like a good conspiracy theory like everybody else. So I'm like, this sounds too far. Like, what do you call it? And once I saw the picture of his arm, I immediately knew a dog. I knew, I looked at that picture and I said, that's a dog. I screenshotted it. My boss didn't know anything about the trial. I said, Steven, what's that look like? He goes, that's a dog attack. How does the jury not know that? And that moron that punched his taillight, whatever, fucking, let me tell you something about polycarbonate. See, I work at a glass shop and I do lettering and tinting and all this other crap. And my whole life I've worked on stereo systems. Actually, when I was younger, I did a couple of stereo systems for Mark Wahlberg, you know, when he was like, I think 16 or didn't even have a license. I think I put a couple of stereos in some stolen cars he might have had. But,
nice.
Polycarbon is a hybrid between Lexan and plexiglass. Lexan is unbreakable. Polycarbon is breakable, but you got to really hit it. And as it gets older, it gets brittle. Now that moron that hit his hand off the taillight, for one, the car, I paused the video while you were live and zoomed in and rewound it, and there's scuff marks all over his bumper. So you can go back later on tonight and check.
Yep.
The scuff marks all over the right rear corner of the bumper. He hit something and cracked it. Not to mention it wasn't whatever he was driving, and it might have been a Range Rover or some piece of shit. Whatever it wasn't brand new.
No.
So the polycarbonate on those lights in some areas is over 1/8 of an inch thick. In some areas it's thinner. And to hit it, you would have to hit it at the weakest point is where it goes from where it's the clear reverse light or the blinker or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah.
The top corner, the part that was missing as the, when the prosecution taped it back together. That's the weakest point where it's bonded together. So that's probably what Karen cracked. And they say, hit the back of the car. I'm not so sure that she hit that, but if she did, she probably hit the wiper arm sticking out of the back of his vehicle. I followed the track marks. She didn't. Where Trooper Paul said there were scratches on Karen's bumper, it hit his bumper, and that's where the scratches were on his vehicle, or the plastic. He said doesn't really scratch. He called it paint, but it's not. It's just black plastic. That's not where her bumper hit. Her bumper hit right below his license plate, which would put that right where his wiper arm is. Which, whether his wiper arm cracked the taillight, I don't know. Personally, I think he was pissed off at her, and he took his drinking glass and he hucked it at the back of her car and said, I can't believe you're not coming in there with me. That's what I think broke it. And obviously the ACA guys might have thought it, because they built the cannon to shoot the glass off of it.
Exactly.
And they said when they figured a grown man could throw a drinking glass like that at 25 miles an hour. And what would happen to the taillight? Well, we know from what they said, at 26 or 27 miles an hour, it punched a hole in it. That's all it did.
Right.
At 45, it shattered it. A drunk man ain't throwing a drinking glass at 45 miles an hour. He's not.
Facts.
There's not enough space.
You know what I'm saying? And the taillight itself was damaged in places that were underneath the metal of the car. If you look at the pictures of the taillight online, or if you can get any pictures, it has damage to places that it shouldn't have damage to. Underneath the metal, but the metal's not damaged. The back of the taillights where there's a printed circuit board, one of you guys that are in your chat posted a video.
Yeah, be in trouble. He's in here. He's listening to you right
he
now.
posted a video with the printed circuit board broken. Yep. It's impossible for that fucking light to have been working at 5 a.m. It's absolutely impossible. And even if their light does work, it ain't lighting up all that red. No. Hank Brennan purposely stopped that video where there's a white blur, whether it was modified or if it's the reflection of the snow blowing by the taillight. He purposely stopped that video, because I did it myself at work. I slowed the video down, zoomed in, and I can see the white spot, the car driving through the white spot. Then he stops the video and says, see all that white? That's because the lights are white. Dickhead, the LEDs are red.
Bingo.
And they're not light bulbs, you schmuck. They're not.
Right.
They're red LEDs.
You're right.
But if he lets it go 6 or 7 frames after, it's not white anymore.
It's red.
The blur is gone. And then even to make matters even worse, Karen steps on the taillight and the whole fucking thing lights up red.
Yep.
But he don't want to play that video.
No, he don't.
He don't want to play that whole video because that's what the defense needs to do. They need to hone in on that video. Fuck if whether she broke it back and out of the driveway or not.
What do you think?
Broken.
Where do you think she would have? Where do you think she might have broke it if it's not there?
I think John broke it.
Oh, you think John broke it? That's what you said, yeah.
I think he had the glass in his
And
hand.
that's maybe why she thought, and maybe that's why she thought she clipped him because she heard that.
Yeah, dude, you've been drinking your whole life, I'm sure. You wake up in the morning, and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I remember something, but I don't really. It's like a dream. Like I remember little.
That's what I'm
pieces
saying.
of
That's
it.
the thing. I feel Norman. That's where she fucked up when she said she's seen him walk in the driveway. I think she might have just embellished a little bit with that. You know what I mean? She might have had flashbacks.
She may have.
Like what I'm saying is later down the line, she might have remembered him walking in and when it starts coming to her after Scanlon came. But I think at that space in time, in that moment in time, right when it went down, when she's, found John and, I just don't think she remembered shit. And if she did, she wasn't thinking right. You know what I mean? It wasn't coming out right. Because it only makes sense that, Jen hung up to call Julie. And it only makes sense that she, went back to One Meadows Ave and, all these different things. And she never mentioned Nagel. She never once said, yeah, well, I was sitting in the car and this truck pulled in back of me and then he pulled on the side of me and he looked right at me. And, she never mentions that. Because I think that she didn't remember. And be clear, disclaimer, in that space and time. Now, I think as Scanlon came out talking about he got beat up and this happened, then like you said, little bits and pieces start coming back. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The only thing that stops me from thinking that maybe John broke that taillight is the fact that the pickup truck was behind her.
Exactly. That's another huge
and but the whole thing is.
Well, here you go. Let me just say this. Let me say that. Let me jump in right there. So this is all right. So we got the 83 feet thing, right? Have you been seeing that scenario?
Yeah.
That the phone was found exactly 83 feet from the house. So he left the house and then he dropped 83 feet exactly from the door to where he was found, exactly 83 feet. So you have one creator saying that someone ran the phone outside and left it there. You got Microdot saying the same thing, or it got shut off. Now, because they're saying he went in the house between 12:24 and 12:27 when he went up and down the flights of stairs, they're saying that it happened fast, right? And so by that time, he was already knocked out, beat up bad. Then 12:32, someone runs from the front door. This is the data. They go from the front door.
Yeah, they walk double time, 20 seconds or something.
Right? And it drops. Now here's the thing. What if, now back to your thing about throwing the glass. What if, right? What if he goes in there, he does go up and down the stairs. He kind of gets in an argument with him, right? And then he gets out the house, right? Like he gets out of there, right? And he starts making his way out and they're following him out, or whatever it might be, hey, and maybe they're behind the gate and they tell him, nah, man, and he's going out to get in the car to get out of there. She already peeled off and they say, come with me. And maybe a fight happens right there in the front. The glass falls, cracks. He drops his phone right there. And then he's hurt, like a little fight happened. Let's just say a little fight happened in the front. And this is all hypothetical, but something happened and Big Bad Brian, come downstairs, come back down here. And then he goes back downstairs with him because at that point he can't go nowhere. She's gone. He got nowhere to run. So he goes back down there to finish the fight or to squash it. And then then it gets worse. And that's when he got really hurt. And then that's why the phone was out there. So my point I'm trying to make is it doesn't necessarily mean he got hurt between 12:24 and 12:27. Just because he went up and down the flights of stairs, that doesn't mean he got hurt. It could mean that when he walked instead of what would you rather believe? Would you believe someone put the phone outside in the moment? Or would you think that he did walk outside and he dropped his phone and he went back in the house? Like, you see what I'm trying to say? Are you following what I'm saying?
Well, if there wasn't a cop in the house or an ATF agent, I would have a hard time that someone would think to bring the phone outside. But the fact that you have 2 cops in the house, they know phones are tracked. They're like, fuck. I could see that.
So
I could see that being the case.
Okay, and I could see it too.
And
but then it messes
somebody
with the whole.
calling the phone.
But why would
somebody
you?
calling the phone allows them? Hold on. Someone calling the phone allows the phone to wake up. Somebody answers that fucking phone when it unlocked. It automatically unlocks when somebody calls it because you can answer it. You don't have to unlock it to answer it. So you answer the phone call. Now the phone is unlocked. You can shut the fucking thing off at that point.
Run that by
You
me
understand
one
what
more
I'm
time.
saying?
Run that by me.
You can shut the phone off. If you got an iPhone, right?
Yeah,
I don't, because I hate the fucking things. I need simplicity because I'm an idiot. But you have an iPhone. Your phone's sitting there. It's locked on your table. I call you right now. You swipe it. You don't have to unlock it. You swipe it. That unlocks the phone. When you end the call, it doesn't automatically lock. Now you got to hit the button on the side like somebody did. You see what I'm saying? While it's unlocked, because you just answered the phone. Now you can shut the son of a bitch off.
So what are you saying happened? Tell me what you think
I'm
happened.
I'm not saying anything happened. I'm just saying with a cop being in the house, cop is going to know. We got to get this phone out of the fucking house.
Definitely.
You got to get it out of the house while we clean up this mess. The fight definitely happened in the house. He tore up the fucking floor, and it's in the bottom of his brother's swimming pool.
But my thing is this: so that to combat that, though, so we gotta and I totally agree with what you're saying. Like, it definitely happened in the house, but now you're saying that all the calls and the butt dials that Jen McCabe did, she was doing it to push the timeline up.
No, I don't know. No, I think originally she called to find the phone, and someone answered the thing to stop it from going to voicemail, because you don't want to record noise in the background. They answered it. Now the phone's unlocked. Now, whatever they did with it after that, Jen McCabe calling the phone over and over again and saying, pull behind me, that was part of bullshit. That was trying to create a timeline. There's no doubt. Why the fuck, you know what I'm saying? She already knew where the phone was. She wasn't calling to find it at that point. They already had it when somebody answered it with 8 seconds.
So why would she? So you think Jen McCabe was in on this right off the bat?
She's a narcissist, and I hate to use that word loosely because a lot of people use it. But I know my brother's girlfriend. I had to move out of a house that I grew up in, for Christ's sakes, that I was planning on buying because of this fraud. Right. So now I'm renting in Quincy. Thanks to this. Not she looks like her. She sounds like her. They're control freaks. They have to control the narrative. Look at the video when the cruisers pull up, and she's waving her hands, talking to the cops. She's directing the movie. That's how they are.
So how about the kids in the house?
They were told to shut the fuck up. And then poor Brian Jr. now he's got to live with every year his birthday. He's going to know what his family covered up. And I actually, I think Higgins did it. And Brian might have thrown a shot. I think if Colin was in that basement, he definitely did, because he's a punk. He's like a hyena. But I don't think it definitely didn't stop between Brian and Big Bad A, as you like to call him. And yes, you are the first person that ever said that. That was the first video I ever saw of you, and I immediately subscribed. I'm like, this motherfucker's cool.
Thanks, brother. You're cool too, man. You're cool too. So let me ask you this: do you think, with everything you just said, right? Because you're bringing up great points, man. I love it. But do you think now? So now here we are. We're in court. How crazy is this? The fucking trial's about to go down next week, right? So again, do you think that they're gonna? Do you think this is gonna be their new defense? This 83-foot from the body that the phone, like you said, the phone protect,
It shouldn't be.
like no, I'm saying like because
It
the
shouldn't be.
last,
There's too
but
many
what I'm saying
questions
is
behind it.
but the last trial was, were you looking for the phone? Were you calling the phone? You were looking for the phone. You think that's gonna be? Is he gonna say like? Because now, if he got Jen on the stand, is he gonna be at her saying you were looking for the phone, texting and all that, or is he gonna say you were pushing up the timeline? Feel what I'm saying? Like, what do you think? You think he's gonna go
Yeah,
with the
I would.
whole defense, or he's gonna like flip
I
it a
would
little
say
bit and modify it?
I would go with a combination. You were looking for a phone, or you were trying to create a timeline. That's why you texted "pull behind me" when Karen was already at the library. For fuck's sake! Listen, if Karen didn't drive by the library, Yannetti said at 3:27, the 3:27, the video went missing. Or not 3:27. I'm sorry, 12:37. The video for the time clocks on those old videos, they're never accurate on those old machines. They're not GPS. They don't keep recalibrating like your fucking phone does. For Christ's sakes, my car recalibrates the time from the radio station, from a signal, and every 2 months it's a minute off.
Yeah.
And I gotta put it on an AM station and hit a button and let it recalibrate. So no, and every time I hear a trial, matter of fact, the Turk trial, I think it was the Turk trial that's going on right now in the Commonwealth. One of the state troopers talks about surveillance, and he says the time is off a minute and a half or 2 minutes. It's the old video systems; they suck. So give or take a minute. There's 2 minutes missing, 12:37 to 12:38. Now, we don't know if that's right when it hit 12:37 and then followed all the way to almost the end. We don't know, just like Garino or whatever, that moron that couldn't find any text messages on Jen's phone.
Right.
Said he clicked into John's Wi-Fi. Now, my street is about 1/8 of a mile long, and my Wi-Fi, my phone picks up my Wi-Fi from the end of my street, but I can't actually use it. It's horrible.
Right.
I'm too far away. But if I log into my Wi-Fi system and see all the available devices that could log on to my phone, on my house, but they don't have a password, there's hundreds of people. Because my Wi-Fi system will pick up anything that's like, 2 or 3 blocks away. It doesn't mean that they can log on to it, even if they have the password, because they're too far away. But my system, for some reason, sees it.
Right.
So John's Wi-Fi at his house saw Karen's phone. So she was within a couple blocks of the house.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Right.
At 12:36. Now, the Wi-Fi is going to be, the time is going to be correct. But was it closer to 12:37? He didn't have seconds. He just said 12:36. It could have been closer to 12:37.
Yeah.
It may have been. It only takes 6 minutes if you get caught at both lights and you drive just below the speed limit or the speed limit, and maybe have to go around a couple vehicles, which Karen didn't have to do. It takes you just under 7 minutes.
Yep.
So the lights were probably blinking. It was 12 a.m. She didn't stop. We know she wasn't speeding and jamming on the brakes and the gas and all this shit, because it would have triggered the computer. And the only triggers that were in the computer were from the tow truck driver or whoever drove it up on top of the flatbed.
Bingo.
We know that. But the video shows it. The key cycles tell a story. The video shows Karen leaving. She started it. You remember, she started it once. She drove to McCabe's house, shut it off, started it up again. There's 2. Right now, we already beat the video because there's only one key cycle, as Trooper Paul would say, one ignition cycle from the time she supposedly ran John over to the time that the state police had the vehicle. And that just doesn't make sense, because she shut it off at least 3 times and restarted it before the state police got a hold of the vehicle. And that video, that bullshit video that they showed in the driveway of the snow covered on her taillight and tried to say it's broken, You notice they don't show John's right rear tail light on his vehicle?
They don't.
Because it's covered in snow.
Right.
The left side was not covered in snow, but the right side was. That's because anybody that lives in New England knows the dust of wind. One side of your house gets blasted and the other side doesn't.
Yeah. That's a fact.
And the Dighton cop said it was cracked. It wasn't completely shattered. Jen McCabe gets on it and tries to say that smashed taillight is a crack.
Well, listen,
Remember,
Norman.
she got up there. He was like, "Well, it was a crack or a smash." She goes, "No, it was cracked." That's what Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Listen, Norman. Listen, Norman. So hit me up in my Gmail. Hit me up in my Gmail.
Yeah, hold on. Let me get a pen.
Yeah.
Dude.
Write it down.
Because I have a horrible memory.
Write that shit down for sure. Because I want to do a show with you, man. I want to do a whole show around it where we have, we got 458 people still watching us. Everybody, I'm sure, enjoying it. Do it at like an earlier time. I can pull up some video footage. We can look at the video together, and we can make a show around all this. And,
what do you got there,
hit that like button, people.
What do you got? What's the email address?
J.F.K. at gmail.com, brother. Very simple.
Hold on, I'm dyslexic. Slow down.
No,
J.F.K. Showoff.
Yes. At Gmail.
Yep.
.com.
Oh, okay. It's really easy.
Yeah.
I actually could have remembered that.
That's all right,
I'm lucky
brother.
I remember my own.
No, I get it, brother. I get it. So listen, man, hit me up right with an email, and we'll collaborate on a time or whatever. And
what do I need to do? Like a video? Can I use a regular phone to do this thing?
Yeah. You could just log in. I give you a link. What
you're gonna send me a link?
Yeah. What phone you?
I got a Samsung.
Oh, that's fine, bro. You good? So
Yeah,
I'll send you a link, and you just click the link, and then you're up where Kevy is right now. You know what I mean? So it'll probably be me, Kevy, James, and we'll all just talk. We'll kick it, and we'll pull up some video, and we'll talk to the people, and I'll hype the show up a little bit because we got 455 people, so I'm sure they're gonna want to hear more. What you got to say, because you definitely know what you're talking about, and you're definitely involved.
Listen, I'm sure there's a lot of other people out there that have the same thoughts. They just haven't come on a show. I know I'm not the only one, but anyway. Idea anybody that might be in this chat that might be a naysayer, which I don't think there are, but idea anybody take their elbow and hit it off a high-end Infiniti, Lexus, Mercedes. Can't be a 10-year-old car because the taillight will break because they get brittle with age. Smash their elbow off it. Make sure that they have a friend to bring them to the hospital.
Bingo.
Because they're going to hurt themselves.
Yeah.
Them sons of bitches are hard as shit. You saw how hard that guy had to hit that thing to break it with his little hockey stick or whatever he had.
Yeah, Blue
What's
Eyes.
the guy's name?
Blue. Oh man, I call him
Trouble.
Hammer Time. Yeah, be in trouble.
Trouble. Yeah, that ain't no joke. When he broke the other one, he used the ball peen hammer.
Yeah.
Now think about your arm. How many girls or how many friends have you known roller skating when they were kids or rollerblading would fall and break their elbow?
Yep, he's right here. Be in trouble.
Right?
Just said you're going to the hospital. He just answered you. He said you're going to the hospital.
Yeah, you're going to the hospital. I got hit by a car when I was 7 years old. Old car. It knocked me on my ass. I hit the back of my fucking head. I had a concussion. I hit my head off the fucking sidewalk, and it didn't split it open. Right. I mean, I had a big, huge blood blister, concussion and whatnot. But I just there's no way. There's no way, and there's no way.
Well, listen,
there's no way his body was there.
Listen, use the email, right? Hit me on the email. And let's talk back and forth. Let's collaborate on a day. Whenever you can do it, right? And just all I ask is you commit to it, and we'll take it from there. And we'll start this conversation up from the top. I'll ask you some questions because now I know where you're at with it, and we'll be fun. It will be fun, man. And we'll get the awareness out there that we need, bro.
Yeah, I'm better off if you start with questions because I don't usually call into shows or talk.
I got you. This was eye-opening.
Yeah, I had to do it. I mean, you know how many times I had to explain this shit to my coworkers? They're like, huh? I'm like, you guys say I'm a genius and I can fix anything. I said, if I'm telling you that this is how it works, this is how it works. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say it. And the defense just needs to, if they hammer that home, and they gotta do it in lame terms where idiots can understand, because apparently the last jury, and I'm not calling them idiots, but when you have a trial that's 2.5 months long, people forget things. It's, you know, especially with Lally putting them, you know, God help them, but putting them to sleep. And you know, what do you have? I'm going to want to ask you one question. What do you think they're going to think about Mr. Spanky Brennan?
What, the jury?
How's the jury going to see him?
I think that's going to be his downfall, man. You know, it's going to be his downfall, because it's like he's going to be so like, you know, like, no, it's not, you know, he's the way he is. He's going to try to make it seem like his way is the only way. And like, I don't think the jury's gonna want that type of energy. They're gonna want to be like, you know, they're gonna be more and less like, you know, that's how he's gonna put it. Like, there's no way that didn't happen. And the way he twists his stuff, they're gonna be hip to it, and they're gonna, you know what I mean, especially 2 months of it. They, you know, enough for nothing. Lally, I think they were better off with Lally, because Lally didn't come off as, he came off like you know, he was trying to be, you know, he won't come off like the way
an asshole.
Yeah, an asshole. Like he's an asshole too. They're both assholes, but I'm saying, like, with Brennan comes off snaky though, and sneaky. You know what I mean?
Well, you have
like,
to remember
you know,
the kind of people that he's defended.
yeah. So he comes off more like, and he comes off like skeevy and shit. You know what I mean? Like, and he's gonna have to control that, and I don't think he's gonna be able to control it, because that's what I said. He's a harmonica player, right? So it's like, that's the instrument. It's a spectacle. He needs that. He needs to be lined up right. So that's why he's so good at the cross. He's great at the cross, but the problem is these witnesses are getting on the stand. His witnesses, the direct, and he's gonna have to direct them. And when they're not doing what he wants, I don't think he's going to be able to contain himself. I think he's going to end up sweating and end up snapping, and people are going to see that side of him, you know, and I don't think he can control it. You know, we've seen it already in emotions. He can't control it, you know? So so, you know, we'll see. We're going to see. So that's the great thing.
He won't be able to get away with. The jury's not going to like the fact that he has a tendency to spout off something that's a fact when it's completely bogus.
Exactly. That's the main thing.
You can't. I mean, he gets away with it in front of Bev.
Yeah,
he doesn't have affidavits and
can't do that.
Sworn statements and all this shit. You can't get up there at the opening statement and say, we have tech stream data that shows the time and the date, when you don't.
Right.
Because it doesn't show it. And if they got information from the rest of the box, the car that Garino did the off chip, what do you call it?
Right.
If they had if they actually got information from that would prove their case, it would be all over the television. But it's not, because they didn't get shit. Garino didn't know what he was doing. They blew that fucking thing up. If they really wanted the truth, you know who could have got the information out of that?
Who's that?
Aka. That's what they do.
Facts.
They don't need no Toyota software. Because the government needs a Chinaman to teach them how to break into a fucking iPhone? No.
Right.
I mean, they're not. They hire people that know back doors and this, that, and the other thing. They were in a hurry to do the chip off. They destroyed the thing, and if there was any evidence in there that she hit him, which I know for a fact there wasn't, because let's all say it together: John O'Keefe was not hit by a car, and the car did not hit John O'Keefe.
That's a fact, brother. Norman, and I'm going to end it right there, man.
That is a fact.
Hit me up on the email, all right, my brother?
All right, brother. You have a great night, and same with everybody in the chat.
My man, thank you for your time, bro. Peace.
Thanks for having me on. All right,
Absolutely.
appreciate it.
Thanks, man. Have a good night, man.
Yes.
Crazy.
Let me get back on camera here. I gotta just gotta do something here.
Yo, he brought up some great points, man.
Yeah, he did.
You know, I remember, the other thing I was going to say, man, is like that whole situation with You know, when they were tearing that accident, you know, reconstruction guy apart. I mean, they were embarrassing that dude. And Judge Bev kept coming in and shutting shit down and telling everybody to move on. And you know, that's what I think we're gonna see again. And that's the sad part is I just feel like, you know, once the defense starts attacking back, it's like she just shuts that shit down with like, you know, let's move on. We've heard enough of this, you know. It's just that's a tough fucking bargain right there.
Yeah, I mean, you're
Great
right.
points though. He brought up some great points, JFK, with like the truck and shit. You know, when you really think about it, like
that's it. That's
even
got to be it. That's got to be it. That's a question that everybody has in the back of their mind. Like what if they have any data of her going backwards? When did that happen and how did it happen and how did nobody see it, right? Well, it had to happen if it's in the data, right? And this thing just keeps freezing up. Hold on one second. Hold on. I'm going to leave the studio and come right back. Hold on.
the data. The data is going to speak a lot.
I'm right here, brother. Here we go. I had to come back, man. I had to recalibrate this shit. I kept pausing and pausing, and I gotta take it. It's crazy because when it starts running for so long, sometimes the internet gets wacky. But yeah, man, you're right though. You're right, and it stinks. Like you know, you try to bring all that stuff in. You know what I mean? Is she gonna let it in? You know, but that explains a lot. It really does. As far as like you know, I mean, I always wondered. Like, what are they talking about? Did that happen? Did that event happen? Well, it did, and it's right there in front of you. We did see the guy in the snow going backwards, and we did see him cut through the snow. You know, like how you would do it, because the snow was at that point. It was what time? It was they
He
took
pulled
the car
forward, he backed up, he pulled, you know what I mean?
There it is, and that would trigger it. There it is. That's gotta be it. That has to be it.
You know, and I believe, I mean, I'm trying to think back, man. It's, you know, we're getting ready to relive this whole shit all over again. But, you know, I was pretty on top of shit the last trial, and I swear to God, you know, Jackson was getting there. He was getting there, but he got shut right down, you know? I mean, it's just that little fuckery shit right there fucking messed everything up. You know?
Well, listen, Kev, I appreciate you hanging out with your boy J.F.K. in the chat tonight. Appreciate you coming up here. I know the phone calls get a little weird because you can't speak, but right now I got to figure that out. I got this little piece that I got to get. I haven't been to Best Buy yet to order this piece, so
I'm gonna work on getting a set of headphones and shit. I like hearing the music. I watched a show earlier and shit, man, and
the whole music.
I was jamming out and shit.
Yeah, I jumped on earlier this morning, man, and I did a little mid-morning into afternoon. Jumped in real quick. Try to lighten the load up, man. Play the music and just talk to people in the morning and start their day off instead of, and tonight I just wanted to focus on I'm glad Norman called. I'm glad CC called. I'm glad we got some great phone calls. Tiffany called. We got some real good phone calls. We had a
Some
first
great
time caller
points too.
from
You know,
OKC
I was just
call. Great callers.
You know, I was thinking about, you know, that like a light bulb, you know, clicked on in my head, like that scenario he said, like, you know, we thought John might have got out of the car and maybe they were arguing and he took 3 or 4 steps, fucking whipped his fucking cup at her fucking truck. You know what I'm saying?
But the problem with that is that Nagel was in back of them.
You know,
so when did that happen?
I think like what I was saying is I think like with what the last caller was saying is that could have been a theory because the ACA people were like, well, let's whip something at it.
Right. No, and I totally and honestly, That's exactly what they thought. The cup was found there, right?
Exactly.
They that's exactly what they thought. But the problem is Nagel was there. So when did it happen? When did it happen? So if he got out the car at 12:24 and he went in the house because he's descent. So the thing is, people got him going in the house from 12:24 to 12:27, and he never left the house. So if that's the case, then Nagel would have still been in back of him, and he would have threw the cup at the car at that time. So then that goes into my theory that he did go in the house, but then he left the house. Did he come back outside? But there's no data of him coming back outside, only the data from the 83 feet from there to where he dropped. By that time, Karen would have left. So then if you would say that that's the time he came out the house and threw the cup off her car, then that goes with the Commonwealth's theory that she left at 12:32 and made it back there by 12:36. You see what I'm trying to say? You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We've been going for a while. We're going to land this plane. We've been going for almost 4 hours. We'll pick it up. We're going to pick this up. We're going to hit, hopefully, Norman. Hit your man up. Me and Kevy Kev, we're going to bring you back up here. We're more refreshed. We're going to start it fresh from the top. We're going to let Kevy Kev sleep on it, resonate on it, everything you said, have more questions. We're gonna go back. We're going to watch some videos of all the things you say. And we're going to pick it apart, and we're going to ask you the questions, and and we'll take it from there. My man Norman, Corey. It's going to be great, man. It's going to be great. But yeah, Kevy Kev, man.
Even with what Norman was saying, man, like there was problems with Toyotas years ago, a few years back with backing up on their own and just recalls. You know what I'm saying? Like every big production company got a recall and shit. And they've added more sensors to those fucking cars. You can't even, you know what I'm saying? That thing, they got half of them got like a touch screen that you got a whole terrain. You know what I'm saying? It tells you what your elevation is, where what tire is higher than the other. I mean, that black box would tell a lot,
Debbie, I love your show. I watched you this morning. Now I'm watching you tonight, and I can't get enough of the show. Well, you're watching me this morning again. Your man J.F.K. is around the clock, and when does he sleep? I don't know. Not much, I'll tell you. I love your show. Watched you this morning. Now I'm watching you tonight. I can't get enough of your show. I love your show. I watched you this morning. Now I'm watching tonight. I can't get enough of your show. Thank you, Debbie. Appreciate you. Excuse me. Ooh, excuse me. Yeah. Man, I appreciate everybody. We had 400 to 500 people watching us this whole time. You guys stayed with us. You're still with us.
Yeah.
I appreciate that you guys stay with us. Everybody out there, if you're not subscribed, come subscribe to me. Check me out. Kevy Kev, he's part of the panel. He's part of the Fuckery Donut Shop. And I appreciate all my long gamers. We're all long gamers on this channel. And we learned something new tonight. And that's something that we got to stay on. We got to stay on that event. Because at the end of the day, that's going to be a huge thing. That's going to be something that Hank Brennan is going to try to dangle, right? Like pause if necessary. He's going to try to make it seem like, that's the smoking gun. We got this, and this is what happened to keep no, you don't. He's selling it like he's got the smoking gun. Well, we just learned tonight, and based on our our thoughts, excuse me, I can't even talk right now. The point is, based on everything we know, that makes the most sense that it happened right then and there when they were getting it on the tow truck. You know how these tow truck drivers are, especially in the snow. And that big ass 570, that tow truck driver didn't know nothing about that LX 570. He probably thought it was a RAV4. That's an 8-cylinder 570. That thing got some juice.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So like he
hear
said,
that shit.
you know what I mean? Like he probably thought it was a little RAV4, he probably thought it was electric. You know what I'm trying to say? Like he probably thought it like, oh, I can think about it. He puts his foot on it fast. That thing's react. That's a beast.
It is, man.
That's probably like 300. I would say that's probably like right around 320 horsepower. What is the horsepower in LX 570 2022? I'll tell you right now. I'm saying around 300, and I say over 300 horsepower on 2022. Mine was my 2007 LX 470 was 280. I had the 07 joint. 409.
Wow.
409, bro. That's a
big.
beast. That's
It's a
a
beast.
beast. That's a beast.
Wow. I wouldn't think that either.
That's what I'm saying. So think about it. You're a tow truck driver. You're used to jumping in and out of these SUVs, these smaller ones like the MDXs and shit like that. That ain't really, an MDX got a little kick, but the smaller ones, the Highlander with the little 6 in it. You're thinking I can hit this. Let me get out of the snow. But no, you hit that, you moving. That's a big. It's you know what I mean. Like them LX 570s are bigger than what they look like. Hold on, that's a disclaimer. All right, man, I'm getting delirious. Yo, Kevin, man, I appreciate you jumping on here with me, man.
Great
You want to
show.
say anything? You want to say anything to the chat, man? You want to talk to him? Go ahead, man. You got 5 minutes, man. Say whatever you want, man.
Yo, it's getting down to the wire. A couple more jurors. It's game time. Just get ready. It's gonna be a crazy show, man. I'll tell you, I can't wait to fucking find out how Hank is with with a jury. I think his act right now is to come at the defense hard. He's walking around like a peacock and shit. I'd like to see the whole shit change. We'll see a different person, I think. Because that jury will read right through him.
He's every stigma that
See
you have.
exactly what he's all about.
Like that Boston stigma with the talk, like, you know what I mean? Like if you're thinking the Departed movie, like the person from Florida called, another great phone call. Like if you're thinking along the lines of like, where did I see this movie before? Oh, it's every movie I ever seen in Boston. That you know what I mean?
Yep.
So it's not smooth, man. It's not. 2 months of that, 2 months, 2.5 months. It's gonna be tough.
Yeah, and I mean, the other thing too is like I was saying, man. I'll tell you, Judge Bev, she's got a high ranking, man. She it's gonna be a tough one, man. There's something up. I mean, we could call it jealousy or something, but there's something against Karen Reed, man. You can just tell, man. I think when her defense turned to this corruption shit, she's trying to bite back. You know what I mean? It's just going to be a tough case.
My man. And with that being said, man, I go by the name of J.F.K.
Kev.
Kev, man. I'll see you, man. We're gonna schedule the next flight, man. You're always that link. That's the new donut shop link, so that should be the same one. The last one kind of got messed up, but that one should be the same one. So anytime you want to hop on, you know what it is. But yeah, peace, Kev. I'll be talking to you soon, my brother. Peace, everybody. I appreciate it. Appreciate everybody staying with your man JFK. I love all y'all. Subscribe, like. Thank you for all the super chats. If you guys want to hit the Venmo and all that, J.F.K. Show Off, Cashapp, J.F.K. Show Off. If you guys don't follow me on my socials, go on my bio, follow me on my social. You want to say hello, say hello. I say hello back. It's all love. I appreciate all you guys. Appreciate everybody. You guys know what it is. It's been a crazy night, man. It's been a crazy night. It's been a long one, but it's been a good one. For sure. It's been a long one, but it's been a good one. Peace and love, everybody. R.I.P. Officer John O'Keefe.
Ha!
Spending the time.
Can't sleep.
Everybody got two hands, right? But it's like I'm always lending one.
Lullaby and good night. Don't let the bed bugs bite. It's time for owner gets to sleep. Good night. Sleep is the cousin of death. It's like you when you sleep. It's like you hold your breath. Good night. Daily I wake up on the wrong side of the bed and I hold my head. Ain't no time yes for lullabies. Cause if I can't sleep, the world stays up with me.
Spaces and time, so many lockdowns. Spending the time, I render the rhyme. They must be out their fucking mind. Insecurities messing with their maturity. Please, that energy level does nothing for me. Still on the run like Nori. And these streets be like bull sharks with the territory. It's the same story. Try to pull apart and run a change. But before you left the game, you wasn't in the right mind frame. And if I can't sleep, then the world can't sleep. Got my speakers on blast, playing fuck the police. Still DRE with my Dre beats, repping my crew. Show off. And we playing for keys. Wrote this in the terminal. Planes cold like jacket thermal. 39,000 feet with eyes that will burn you. My external looking swell. Never know you're maternal. Even if talk to odds, read your health journal.
Don't let the bed bugs bite. It's time for owner gets to sleep. Good night. Sleep is the cousin of death. It's like you when you sleep. It's like you hold your breath. Good night. Daily I wake up on the wrong side of the bed and I hold my head. Ain't no time yes for lullabies. Cause if I can't sleep, the world stays up with me.
Laser grow some tits, you dudes are soft in the pillows. Be with the witches at the willows, tell me where the pills go. They scratch and they sniffing naughty from the drip. Flow deadlier than a benzo, opiate mix. Hoping the whips don't get confiscated with your junk bag, bitch. You hit the switch, make the change, but instead you flip. Now you talking to the guy with the badge on his hip. Now it's all black, Crown Vicks. Try to be victorious like Big. Now in the hood, you is known as a notorious snitch. Knuckle up when the doors pop. You sweeter than Ciroc and Diddy. And once you had your city on lock, I'm like Wakefield with the knuckles. You could call me Freddie Fox. So fuck you and your raps, cause to me that's petty props.
Lullaby and good night. Good night. Don't let the bed bugs bite. It's time for owner gets to sleep. Good night. Sleep is the cousin of death. It's like you when you sleep. It's like you hold your breath. Good night. Daily I wake up on the wrong side of the bed and I hold my head. Ain't no time yes for lullabies. Cause if I can't sleep, the world stays up with me.
J.F.K.
Spending the time.
Can't sleep.
Everybody got two hands, right? But it's like I'm always lending